All right, shalom, y'all. Yeah, but make sure it's recording. Oh, phrases. All right. Hold up. Let me grab my book real quick. Yeah, buddy. We gonna grab a few of the mainstays today. We gonna go ahead and get started. Yep. All right, I'd like to start this lesson out by saying, call halal Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's all praises be unto Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. My name is Haya El, and I'm back on the San Antonio Riverwalk with yet another lesson. Right? Got a lot of folks walking around. I'm not sure what they're walking around for, but I see a lot of folks from the Middle East. And I guess that's a good thing, because today we're going to be talking about basically the incoming draft here in America. Right? Because what's going on in America is that all her allies are turning their back and turning against her. All of America's enemies are raising up the head, and they're giving America the evil eye, because America is no longer in the condition to lead much of anything, let alone even themselves. So now America's in quite the predicament, right? Every way that the infrastructure of this nation could be in a state of degradation, it is currently in that, right? Everything is basically in a state of decay. And meanwhile, America is being called upon to do more safety enforcing around the world than ever before. So today's lesson is called, are you ready for the draft, Jake? Because many of our people don't quite understand that it is indeed coming, right? Just like the Grecians, they imposed the draft, right? Or they imposed something called conscription, right? Y'all got time for the Bible today? I'll go right ahead.
Thank you, sir.
If y'all are black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, just know y'all are Israelites in the Bible. All praises. But just like the Greeks in the past, they imposed a draft. The Romans in the past imposed a draft. America in today's world is imposing a draft as well, right? And here in America, they're saying the age of the drafting is going to encompass those who are from ages 16 all the way up into, I believe, 40, right? But under, I believe it was President Roosevelt, he extended the drafting age to 64, right? So nobody's going to be spared when it comes to the draft. Y'all got time for the Bible today? It's a shame, thou sayest. But let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start at Isaiah 53:6. Yeah, buddy. See, they might be doing one of the little Palestinian marches, man. See, they don't understand, man. Marching don't work. You know what I'm saying? Because I hear drums and shit down the way. I'm sure they doing something like a protest, a parade, because there's a lot of Middle Eastern folks today. So-called Middle Eastern. See, the reality is, man, they're going to find out the hard way that all that marching and shit, the white man don't respect that. Voicing your opinion or your dissent, he don't care about that, man. As long as you showing up on a Monday and clocking in and doing work for him, he don't give a fuck. See, and he dealing with the worst of the worst over in Israel, right? He dealing with Amalek. See, all these folks from the so-called Middle East, they know that white devil over there in Israel ain't the real Jew. They know that. But the reality is they done benefited from him being over there. Him buying their oil, him facilitating contact and authority over the Israelites whom he has in bondage. See, they have they've lived deliciously off the backs of the Israelites through the Edomites, right? And as a result, they are highly reluctant to raise up the head against their oppressor because they know that it's going to cost them fiscally. How y'all doing? Y'all got time for the Bible today? Thou says. Our people got time for God, but if I ask them what tribe they come from, they don't have a clue. They gonna find out, man. See, that's why today's lesson is about the draft. See, Jake's still walking around amid their enemies. They don't know what time it is, man. But see, these Palestinians, man, they know what time it is. They know they're gonna have to go to war. And they know they're gonna have to click up with all their brethren, the Ishmaelites. They're gonna have to come to terms of agreement with their cousins, right? The Elamites, who are the East Indians in that region. The Persians, known as Iraqis, or the Afghanis, all those people are Persian. And they occupy that same area that is designated as the Middle East. And they're all suffering from the same problem. The white man being in that land, stirring up strife, stirring up trouble. But see, here in America, our people walking about, we don't understand as we walk to these protests. We don't understand that it's time for war. It's not time to hold up a sign. It's not time to try to, form a friendship chain and hold hands and all that bullshit, because it's not going to work, man. But let's go ahead and hit. This is Isaiah, chapter 53 and verse 6. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. Actually, is that what I want? Oh, Salakia, that's 33. I was like, man, that shit don't look right. I know that's not what I had. Salakia. See, because we need to be circumspect right now, knowing the times that we're in. See, and that's an assumption, right? You would assume Jake would know what time that they're living in, but most of the time, Jake don't have a clue. Jake don't know what's going on. Jake don't know what country these people come from. If you ask the average Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian to find the nation of Syria on a map, they couldn't do it. They don't know who these people are. And as a result, all of these things that are going on, most of our people are getting involved with no knowledge of the history surrounding these people. It's a shame. Either way. There it is. This is Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. So, wisdom and knowledge is going to be the stability of these times. These are very uncertain times. We're seeing wars and hearing of rumors of more war. We're seeing disasters happen on scales that the world has never seen before. So knowing what's going on and having wisdom is going to be a hardy defense in the times to come. Knowing who your enemies are, knowing who your friends and your brethren are. Those are the types of things that somebody, especially an Israelite, needs to know. Right? But we're going to go ahead and move on. We're going to go to Revelations 17 and 8, and we're going to be there a while. We're going to read all the way through to 18. Right? Because we have to understand something, right? Esau's enemies are raising up against him now, but the reality is they're not any different than they are now as opposed to when they took charge. They've always been the same devil. So why is everybody now starting to raise up against Esau? What's going on now that's so different as opposed to the past? Well, the reality is the Most High God is the one running things. And the Most High allowed the devil known as the Edomites to take charge and to rule over the earth and to place all of so-called America's allies. When I say allies, if I could have air quotes over that word, it would be the biggest air quotes in the world because they've never been America's allies. They've really just been America's co-conspirators in enslaving the Israelites, because all these other nations have had their shit. And when they had us in slavery, the Edomites were right there beside them, helping them put us in bondage. So when Esau had his turn, they were right there beside him, helping them to enslave us and put more rigor upon us. Right? This is Revelations, chapter 17 and verse 8. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and go into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they beheld the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. So let's take a second to break that down, right? Because when it's talking about a beast that was, and is not, but yet is, if we know that these beasts in the Bible are nations, what nation rose to prominence to rule over the whole earth, only to fall into obscurity and then come back again? That would be the Roman Empire. How you doing, sir? Got time for the Bible? I'll be here the next few hours, Elder. I'll be looking for you. All right? So, this beast here is the Roman Empire. And you're going to find out that this is going to be the same beast that's going to be in charge at the end of days, and is going to fight against the Messiah when he returns. Now, while I'm here, I want to further buttress why I'm saying this, right? So we're going to go to 2nd Ezra real quick, and we're going to go to 2nd Ezra 9 and 6. Because, see, we need to understand that it's already been prophesied that the Edomites would be in rulership at the end of days. And those days are upon us. Actually, is it 6 and 9? It's 6 and 9. 1 second. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. So, you have the prophecy that Esau would be in charge at the end of days, and Jacob would be the beginning after the end came for the Gentiles. That's why when you read about the birth of Jacob and Esau in the book of Genesis, you see that shortly after Esau came out, Jacob, his brother, came out and immediately took hold of Esau's heel. It was to symbolize that though Esau would rule, when his rulership came to an end, right on his heels would be the rulership of the Israelites. I wanted to say the Jacobites, but it's the same thing. Jake's name was changed to Israel, right? But you would see the rulership of the Israelites come into power right after the final rulership of the Edomites. And the kingdom that the Israelites are supposed to have is supposed to be an everlasting kingdom, right? But let's get back to Revelation 17. Verse 9. And here's the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Y'all got time for the Bible today?
Not right now, boss. But amen.
Thou sayest, brother. Verse 10, or verse 11. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7th, and goeth into perdition. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. See, this is how we know it's America, because all these other rulers of the world, Esau has gone about the earth subjugating all of these diverse kingdoms of the earth. And he has allowed them to have power with him as a tributary, as long as they conform to Esau's doctrine and his ways. You got time for the Bible, brother?
I'm working right now. I was gonna tell you, I like what you're doing, though.
Okay.
I like what you're doing.
Yes, sir. Well, you know I'm out here, though, right? Not just to preach the word, it's to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know that we're the Israelites of the Bible.
Gotta let them know.
Have you ever heard about that before? That we're the Hebrew Israelites?
Usually I just go into like
Okay.
you know what I mean? Just a regular. I know about like the Bible, about that.
Okay. Well, when you get a chance, read Matthew 15 and 24. It's the words of Christ. He said he was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So if he's only sent for the Israelites, well, you need to know who the Israelites are, because those are his sheep.
Yeah.
So if he only came for them, what about everybody else? Exactly, right? So you got to read the word to find out, brother. But
I got a Bible, so I'm already starting to read it though. It's like a more simplified one, you know, some words are like, I don't really get them.
I would recommend go ahead and get a King James. What you need is a teacher.
Yeah, that's what, yeah. I mean, I got like my parents, they usually like, you know what I mean? They kind of know how to like, you know what I mean? So it's going pretty good.
But if you ask your parents, like actually when you get home, ask your parents to break down Revelation 17 for you. 17. And if they can't do it, then you know you need a teacher. Because that's end time prophecy. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need the Bible to understand what's going on the earth. Because World War III is predicted in the Bible.
Yeah, it's already.
But it's
already saying everything in the Bible. It's already all happening.
Yeah, but guess what?
Everybody's all blind.
It gives you the nations, if you understand what it's talking about, who's going to be involved.
Exactly, yeah. And it starts to make more sense and stuff like that. That's what people don't really. People are just like, oh, it's nothing.
Hey, he's in the right spirit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because if you read Isaiah 63, when your Messiah returns, he's going to be cutting heads off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He told him they're going to know my wrath. That's what he said.
Yes, there it is, man. But I'll be out here for the next few hours, man. If I see you, come stop. All right, brother.
You have a great day.
You too, man. Be blessed. All praise to the Most High. But we see here that we have the beast that was and was not, but yet is. And while this beast that has returned, it now has rulership over 10 other dominions or 10 other kings that share power with the beast for a space of a very short time. Now, some of these nations have already faded away into history in terms of their importance. Nations like France, nations like Spain, all of these nations are partly broken, right? Because they were once world powers, but now they are tributaries unto America and nothing more. But they still share power with the beast. Now, I'm not going to go into this full breakdown, but I just wanted to give a small highlight of it as we read it, because we have to understand that America is the rebirth of the Roman Empire. That's why they share the same architecture. They share the same pagan religions. Things like Christmas or Saturnalia, that was celebrated in Rome. Idols like an obelisk, which are, is an idol that honors Nimrod, right? A Babylonian god. All of these diverse pagan beliefs were things that the Roman Empire held dear and they worshiped. And America is the rebirth of that nation, that empire. That's why America is also called in the Bible the daughter of Babylon, right? Because America has taken on the pagan and hedonistic ways of all of these different empires and societies of antiquity. But the one thing that has remained constant is that all these empires are built on the backs of the Israelites. That's the one thing that you can cash a check by, right? Let's keep going. This is Revelations chapter 17 and verse 13. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. For he is Lord of lords, and King of kings, and they that are with him are called, and chosen, and faithful. So, as I said, they're going to make war with the Messiah when he returns. Now, I'm going to go a little bit more into my lesson, and you're going to see that the Messiah is going to return during World War III. And that very same World War is the reason why America is going to have to institute a draft. Because recruitment numbers have never been lower in America. Morale has never been lower in America. And you mean to tell me while in this lowest state, America is going to somehow gather the forces and strength to fight against multiple world powers, such as China, Russia, India? They can't do that. They don't have enough manpower. So that means America's going to have to go deep into their bag of forbidden techniques. Forbidden techniques like geoengineering, right? Using thermal lasers to start fires. If you need an example of that, look at what just happened in Maui a couple of months ago. You have reports of people saying before the fires broke out, they saw lasers literally coming down from the sky, and then the fires broke out in those exact areas. Some way, somehow, these so-called wildfires managed to not touch any of the structures that the rich lived in. But yet, the so-called native Hawaiians, and I say so-called native Hawaiians because just like everybody else, they've been moving about the planet, but they were the first ones to inhabit that land. The native Hawaiians have lost everything. Meanwhile, the Edomites of that land, they doing all right. So Esau is now implementing all of these secret technologies that you've heard rumors of, but you've never actually seen in action. Right? But when the Messiah returns, although all these nations are going to have their differences, they're all going to stand in unison to fight against the one true Messiah for the Israelites. Verse 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes, and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. So we're seeing that right now. We're seeing the hatred foment around all these nations that America has done nothing but oppress and exploit. They are starting to despise America. And they are also standing up with the attitude of, we are going to fight against the whore that rides upon our back, that takes the proceeds of our agriculture. See, now America's basically on her back, and she's requesting every tributary to empty their coffers into her, to restore her. But now they're starting to look around and go, America's not fit to rule or to lead. And hence why they're going to have to put this whore out of her misery. And the only way to do that is going to be by thermonuclear fire. They can't run the risk of America rebounding and having nuclear capabilities. So when they strike America, they're going to destroy this place. Verse 17, for God hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, until the words of God shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is the great city, which reigneth over the kings of the earth. And that would be America, right? The whore that sitteth upon many waters. The country that can't keep its nose out of other countries' business, no matter what it costs anybody else. Y'all got time for the Bible today? No, thank you. But it's all right. See, our people are scattered to all nations. See, that man looks to be Chinese, but who knows? He might go back to the Manchu people. He might go back to the Kunlun people. Those are our people. See, that's why we ask everybody if they're willing to stop and listen. Anybody who comes up with a question about the Bible, we'll at least hear them out, because we have to try the spirit to see if they're of our people. Quite all right. But let's move on. All right? So we're going to go ahead and move on to Revelation 11 and 14 through 15. See, because we know all these other nations are going to rise up against Babylon in the spirit of conflict and war. But the reality is, Babylon is going to lose. This is Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. See, the Bible is talking about a great destruction. And if you had to think of a great destruction that befell the earth, where millions of people died simultaneously, you would certainly go to the world wars of history. Isn't it ironic that the prophecy here is saying that the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly? This is talking about World War III. Verse 15, and the seventh angel sounded, and there were great voices in heaven, saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, and he shall reign forever and ever. So what this is saying is essentially during World War III, that's when your Messiah is going to come back and take over. See, that's why we're trying to tell the Israelites that now is the time to repent, not later, because you don't have later. There is no more tomorrow. See, and our people don't realize, when those air raid sirens start going off and the missiles start hitting America, it's going to be too late to find us out here, because we're not going to be willing to come out here and talk to you hard-headed ass niggas while we dodging missiles. We're not doing that. The Most High God is not going to put his prophets in that predicament. We're going to be pulled back and pulled away, because the time for fishing our people and bringing them in to repent and to keep the laws of God, that time is going to be at an end. and the elect will have been sealed by then. Man, I forgot my water again, man, so I'm having to use this. It is cool. I'm glad I brought it. Shit. It's funny though, right? When I turned around, Esau sprayed a damn X in the sky with the chemtrails they were spraying. Meanwhile, you can't get any of our people to stop for 5 minutes and just look up and look around and see that America is finished. See, again, man, most people don't realize it's going to come down to the point where if you need food, it ain't going to be out here. And your God ain't going to be listening if you ain't keeping his commandments. That brother got 2 white women with him. Damn, man. I keep saying it, man. You give Jake sexual access to white women, boy, that man castrate. I can see if you were walking with them, they was bad, you know what I'm saying? But they look like damn cafeteria workers and shit. I don't understand it, man. I'll never understand it for the life. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and go to Isaiah 14:6. Right? Let's see, World War III is about to break out, and the draft is coming. If y'all are Native Hispanic, y'all are Israelites. Y'all God's chosen. See, trying to tell our people to separate from their enemies, man, that seems to be a fool's errand, man. Our people like nothing more than to walk hand in hand with the people who've been raping and robbing them for the last 5 centuries, man. They love it. Well, let's get this in Isaiah. Looks like we got Judah and Ephraim walking up. I'll try to flag them, man. How y'all doing today? Got time for the Bible? 2 minutes? No, thank you. Thou sayest. What y'all think about that draft that's coming? Y'all going over there and fight? See, that's in the Bible too, and your president's about to institute it. And y'all ain't even prepared for it. See, again, man, our people just want to walk around, have fun in America. They don't realize, man, fun is over. Next year, they rolling out the digital currency. You're going to have to pay at least $35 for every digital currency or digital note. So that means most of us are going to be broke and destitute on the spot. And that rate could go all the way up to $55 per bank digital note. Or digital bank note. All this terminology, man. Y'all got time for the Bible today? Are you?
We are.
What about that draft that they're about to institute?
Then the Lord will carry on, and his will be done.
If you don't have wisdom, brother, you're going to die, man. I keep saying it, man. Our people think it's a joke. They don't understand, man, when you go to war for America this time, you're going to fight against the Messiah when he come back. He going to destroy your ass. See, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man, you've been at rest far too long. See, the white man ain't got it no more. The dollar ain't worth shit. The land don't produce no food no more. The waterways are destroyed. The air is polluted. America cannot continue hobbling forward as it has, especially when her allies don't want to give her fuel, don't want to give her food, and don't want to give her any type of economic aid. America is finished. But the average black, Hispanic, and Native Indian is walking about this place like they have all the time in the world. And that's exactly why they're going to die in America. This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindered. So ain't nobody feeling sorry for America. Now that this nation is finally going down, ain't nobody feeling bad for America. Don't nobody feel bad for this nation, man. After all the raping, robbing, and murdering that America has done the world over, ain't nobody feeling sorry for this place. See, that's why when famine grips America, ain't gonna be no way out. And see, the white man destroyed blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, so we couldn't even grow your crops if you put us to the task. See, the reality is America is ripe for the destroying, ripe for the picking. See, that's something that these heathen, that's how they practice warfare. They don't attack their enemies when they're at their strongest, when you have a good fight. They attack when they're at their weakest. And America has never been weaker than today. And she's never had more enemies than today. Y'all got time for the Bible today? Thou sayest, Elder. Thou sayest. This is Isaiah 14:5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. See, that's what we're trying to tell blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. The time for you to separate spiritually and physically in any way that you can from America is now. Y'all got time for the Bible? 2 minutes? That's a shame, brother. Come on.
We good.
So you gonna go fight in Israel when they institute the draft? See, our people don't realize, man, they gonna institute that draft and they gonna push that draft age all the way up to 64, just like they did in World War II. Because it's gonna be World War III. See, you're gonna see a lot of tearful goodbyes when people hugging their sons and their daughters. Because now America's saying it don't matter if you male, female, transgender, no gender. Your ass going to fight. If you can twerk, you can go fight. If you can play PlayStation, you can go fight. America's about to put everybody's ass on the front lines. See, and everybody's still walking around like America got it tomorrow, and you don't. See, that's why I look forward to teaching today, because I knew a lot of people would want to walk away from this. Far more than usual. But see, that is also a task that the fishers of the Most High God have, and that is to mark those who are unwilling to keep the commandments. And I take satisfaction in marking those who are too cowardly and coonly. They're too much of a coon to come back and serve their God. To take hold of their heritage. To understand who they are in the present and come to understanding who they were in the past. Right? I take a certain satisfaction in letting our people know that, hey, if you don't want to hear this word and come back to your God, thou sayest. I take satisfaction in that. And I speak as a man, because I'm condemning no one. But the reality is, I'm serving in my office, doing what I'm supposed to do. Right? But let's keep reading. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest, and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon say, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. So it's not going to just be people rejoicing when America gets destroyed. Nature herself is going to rejoice. We don't even know what that looks like. To see nature in a state of jubilation because the destroyer is no more. We don't know what that looks like, but we're going to see it in very short order. It's a shame many blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians are going to get destroyed right along with America.
Praise the Lord.
The white man's going into slavery, and that's according to the Lord. You still want to praise him? Exactly, I thought so. See, when these heathen talk about praise the Lord, they don't know who the God of the Bible is. They read John 3:16 and put the book down. They don't understand that the Messiah is coming to free us from you. See, that's why I tell all these white folks, you want to know what Jesus Christ is going to do when he come back? Read Isaiah 63. It tells you straight out who he going to see first. See, that's why it's easy to see that these people don't read the Bible. It's very simple. How you doing this week, brother? Doing all right, man. Be safe out here, man. You special, brother. The Native Hispanics, y'all Israelites. Y'all chosen of God. See, it's funny, man. The people who actually are chosen of the Most High God, they don't want nothing to do with this word. That's why the Most High God called us stubborn and stiff-necked. See, if the maker and ruler of all things has to call you stubborn and stiff-necked, then damn it, that's what you are. And it's noteworthy enough to the extent that he has to take time out of his interactions with his creatures to voice that appraisal of his creation. He has to warn the prophets before they go out to do the work. Hey, look, you need to know who you're going out to. See, that's why these types of lessons, these are the best ones, because for the most part, it's just a warning. That's all it is. I'm trying to warn our people that you are about to be drafted. This white devil is not going to let his kingdom go down without trying to grab every individual who can stand on 2 feet and hold a rifle. See, he's going to do that in the hopes that everybody coming together will somehow save America. America is finished. And see, those of y'all who came from other countries to enjoy the economic prosperity of America, I'd recommend you go back before you can't leave. Because eventually they're going to cancel everybody's visa and passport, and you're not going to be able to go anywhere. You're going to be aliens and strangers in a land that was never your own to begin with. You got time for the Bible, brother? You got time for the Bible, brother? 2 minutes? You got 2 minutes for the Bible?
Good, bro.
Now say it, brother. What you going to do with the draft? You didn't even hear what I said. See, I keep telling you. I keep saying it. Our people walking around, man, with comic book backpacks not understanding. You about to be handed an M16 and 3 MREs and some jungle boots or all-terrain combat boots. Your ass about to be go fighting in another man's war. And when you die, they ain't even gonna bury you. Because guess what? It's gonna be millions of people to bury. They gonna throw your ass in a big-ass pit like they did in World War II. See, these are the things that people don't think about, but all of it's in the Bible. And our job is to try to warn our people of it. But if they're not willing to give us at least 2 seconds to even find out who they are and begin the journey of learning, I don't know what else we're supposed to do. See, that's why the Most High God is going to handle the rest. But we see here in Isaiah 14, 5 through 8, that all of creation is groaning while the Edomites are in power. Even nature herself is travailing in hardship and rigor as a result of all the pressures that are put upon her. And I just say her because, like a womb, the planet, the earth holds us all. Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, praises. Right? But it's something that we have to continuously try to warn our people of, right? That the times of good times here in America, they are coming to an end. Shalom, shalom. You got the Black Power pink in your hair. I see it. I used to have one broken. How you doing? Yeah. I just got here not too long.
Yeah.
That traffic.
I should have been right, but I'm like, I had to go pick up the car.
Oh, you good, man.
I'm not gonna make it. Way, I'm like,
No, man. Hey, man, don't get in an accident trying to get up here, man. So I popped the tire trying to get up here, man. So. No, probably a couple months back. But let's keep up with it while the brothers set up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to turn to Jeremiah 50 and 11 through 15. Because Esau is surrounded by his enemies, right? And with him being surrounded by his enemies, Esau is getting more and more desperate by the day, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 11. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine inheritance, because ye are grown fat as the heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, and a dry land and a desert, because of the wrath of the Lord. It shall not be inhabited, but it shall wholly be desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at her plagues. See, now when these other nations, they come to America, they're astonished at how little food there is. Appreciate it, bro. Test. All praise to the Most High God. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? But when you have folks coming from India, when you have people coming over from China, Japan, etc., they're astonished at how little opportunity that there is in America. And they shouldn't be. Because America was built off of the bones and bodies of God's chosen people. This is a cursed land. And the only reason why any of you so-called heathens, and I'm talking to heathens like white people, Chinese people, Japanese people, who had us in slavery, by the way, all y'all did. The Bible says y'all gonna pay for it. Y'all going into slavery for it. And y'all deserve it. Every bit of it. And World War III is gonna give y'all a severe population cut. Hundreds of millions of y'all gonna die in World War III. I can't wait for it. I can't wait to see y'all on the front of these damn t-shirts talking about, remember little Daryl, remember little Cletus, Susie Ann, Bobby Joe. I can't wait. See, the Most High God has promised that he has prepared a slaughter in Basra. So you white folks gonna get it. He's promised that Tyree and Zidon, y'all gonna get it. So you Hamites who sold us to the white man, your ass gonna get it. See, and all these nations who think because they had us in slavery so long ago that they got off the hook, don't worry about it. Most High God remember that too. Ammon and Moab, or Japan and China, all y'all going into slavery right alongside your other friends. You ain't got away with a damn thing. But let's keep going with the lesson, right? This is Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 14. Put yourselves in array around Babylon, or against Babylon round about. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down. For it is the vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her. See, one of the things that we know is going to afflict America are going to be thermonuclear bombs. Because the only nation to ever drop nuclear weapons on another nation was America. And the Most High God's judgment is like unto a ring. So what you put out is what you get back. And last time I checked, America hasn't been bombed with nuclear missiles. They've never been invaded by a ground force that occupied America and deprived her of her sovereignty. But that is going to happen in short order. And meanwhile, you got blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians walking about here like they don't have a care in the world, not understanding that your president has already said that there is a draft coming. And he said it doesn't matter what gender you are. And they're saying it's going to be from 16 to age 40. Now, again, I said this earlier, but I'm going to say it again. Though they say 40 is the upper limit, during World War II, they extended that limit to the age of 64. So unless you're an old codger who can't even get it up to play bingo, you're going to war. See, and many of y'all are unprepared to say no. Many of you are going to say yes, simply so you can fill your belly, simply so that you can keep going to college, which does you absolutely no good, by the way. Most of the people drowning in debt, they started their debt journey going to college. And most of the jobs nowadays, they don't even require you to have a college degree. They want you to have job experience. Why? Because going to college to get hammered is not some way that shows your proficiency at a job. But let's keep going. Actually, that was it on that. So we see here in Jeremiah 50, right, that the daughter of Babylon is going to be surrounded by her enemies, hated on all sides, and they're going to fire all their arrows on her. And they're not going to spare any of their arrows. See, the reason why all these nations are going to bomb America to that degree where she's absolutely decimated and destroyed is because they can't run the risk of the beast that returned already, the Roman Empire. They can't run the risk of America rising back to prominence and coming with a more diabolical weapon to destroy them or the earth. They can't run that risk. So when they fire their missiles on America, it's going to be with the intent to completely destroy this place. And you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, it would behoove you to wake up to your history and your heritage and realize you are the chosen of God and come back and keep the commandments so you can be preserved. Or don't. Right? Or don't, because 2/3 of y'all got to go anyway. But let's keep going with the lesson. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit up Jeremiah 51, 5 through 7. glad you showed up. There are a lot of people out here. Yeah, buddy.
This is Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 5. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God, of the Lord of hosts. Though the land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel, flee out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. See, and when it says the nations are mad, contextually it means the nations are out of their mind. They're crazy. And you have to be out of your mind to push transgenderism when you're having a population crunch. But you have nations following behind America who are doing just that. You have to be out of your mind to allow feminism to take root in your nation, when all that it results in is the destruction of the household and the nuclear family. But you have nations that are doing exactly that, following behind America, hoping to get some economic gains or prosperity as a result of selling out. But that context of mad is manifold, because just as the leadership of these nations are mad and crazy, the inhabitants and the populace of these nations are mad and angry, because they've been pushed to the bottom of the world and they're wondering where their cut is. So as a result, they want nothing to do with America and her principles. How you doing today, sister? Got time for the Bible? No? What if the Bible calls you a princess walking the earth? You gotta go? You gonna fight in the draft when they institute it? Because you know they drafted men and women, right? See, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you ain't prepared. You ain't been reading your Bible. See, it's funny, your pastor tell you to read a verse a day. But I'll go out on a limb and say, at least if you read a verse a day, you would have an idea of what's going on, and not just keep reading John 3 and 16 every damn day. Reading every scripture that basically tells you to join hands with somebody, not understanding when the Bible tells you to come together, it's talking about the Israelites. It's not talking to anybody else, and it's not talking about anybody else. But let's keep going with the lesson. Y'all got time for the Bible today? I'll see. If y'all are Native Hispanics, just know y'all Israelites, y'all chosen of God. And if you don't separate from Babylon or America, you're going to be destroyed. But, so we're going to go ahead and go to Habakkuk 2 and 2 through 5. Right? Because it's as I said, this place is in a dire position. So America is about to call all hands on deck. And when that happens, it's going to be pandemonium out here. Because most people who came from other nations, they thought they were coming here to be to run a gas station, to operate a job of some sort, and enjoy some economic stability, not understanding that America has fallen. I got you, brother. If y'all are Native Hispanics, just know y'all special, all right? Y'all God's chosen people. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, y'all are God's chosen, the Israelites. That's why no matter how hard you work, everybody call you lazy. That's why you're the only people on the face of the planet who got a connection to nature. You care about the waterways, you care about the animals. Everybody else, they just trying to earn some nickels to rub together, so they can pretend that they rich while they go home broke. Right, but let's go ahead and get this.
Still sitting there. No, you still sitting there. You sitting there. I'm just getting Habakkuk 2 real quick. You won't be.
This is Habakkuk 2 and 2. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth. So the Most High God has configured the Bible in such a way that his children can easily understand the platitudes, principles, and knowledge of this book. That's why we're asking for nothing but a couple of minutes of your time, so that you can come to understand why things are transpiring the way they are upon the earth. because it's not hard to understand. You only need to invest the effort and the time. How y'all doing today? Got time for the Bible? A minute? You speak Spanish? And right there? You still got a minute? Un momento? Exactly. And he spoke to me in English. See, again. Now, he don't want it. Let him go. Thou says. Because when he get drafted and he got to hold an M16 and go over to fight for the white man, he going to be asking, man, I wish I knew what was going on. Where them brothers at? Where all them people who tried to warn me about what was coming on the earth? See, again, I tell our people, man, read Ezekiel 9, man, it'll make your blood run cold. The Most High God's judgment is beginning with Israel. And you best believe, if you a coon, black, coon, Hispanic, coon, Native Indian, and you go fight for the white man in World War III, your ass is going to die. You are going to die. And you ain't going to come back here with no legs. Although that's terrible, you still get to be alive. See, the Most High God wants a face-to-face meeting with you to give you your judgment. See, folks don't understand the dire nature of this message. Meanwhile, some of our people are going to a protest to support what's going on in Israel. Whether you support the Israelis or the Palestinians. Personally, we support neither, because neither one of them should be in our land. But the reality is many of our people have joined themselves onto this struggle, this conflict, where they have nothing to do with it. Other than they were the victims of slavery to both parties. But let's keep going. Verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth that hope. Who enlargeth his desires is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all peoples. So the reason why I read this is to show that this white devil is about to heap unto himself all of the peoples of the nations in whom he has conquered, in the hopes that you are willing to go fight and die for an illegitimate war to basically maintain control of land that is not his. But see, the joke is on you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who don't understand the times that you live in. The Messiah is coming back at the height of World War III, and the signs are all in place. They're seeing more UFO activity on this planet than they've ever seen in history. All the prophecies of the Bible are jumping off the pages. You have military personnel coming out and saying that there are UFOs that come down and disarm their nuclear missiles and start up the very same systems that are required to fire them before shutting them down and departing. So what they're admitting is they have no control over these systems. But that's why when you read in Isaiah 54 and 16, the Most High God is the one who created the smith to destroy. But see, to you guys, you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who don't understand what's going on in the scriptures, it's all going to be a surprise to you. Just know it's not a surprise to us what's going on. It's not a surprise that a man named Vladimir in the same land as Magog, this man named Vladimir, which means ruler of the earth, this man is going to be the very same man who brings all these nations against America in the hopes of destroying it. See, it's not a surprise to us because we study the scriptures. We study to show ourselves approved. Do you have something to bring out, brother? This is Isaiah, chapter 50.
You said Isaiah 53?
Yeah, I was almost there.
Sure. There's only 11 verses.
So yeah, give me 1 second. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bounce over real quick to Joel 3 and 9 through 14. Because with all of America's enemies rearing their head up in the hopes of fighting her and laying waste to her, you need to understand that the Most High God is the one orchestrating all of these things, right? And before I go to Joel, there's one thing I need to grab in Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. And then after I get these two out, we'll get you. Is it on the same topic? I think I did. Well, we'll bring it out again. This is Proverbs. No. Yeah, now we're good. No. This is Proverbs, chapter 21 and verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Most High God is in control of all these wars that are coming upon the earth. That's why we're trying to tell blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you are the chosen of the Bible. You are the Israelites. But with that knowledge, you need to understand what you need to be doing in these days. You need to be repenting and serving your God and keeping the commandments. See, eventually that draft letter is going to come in the mail, and you're going to have to say goodbye to all of the men of your household. See, don't get attached to your young teenagers, because they're going to war too. Yeah, let me get Joel real quick, and then we're going to just go on yours for a while. You got to listen. Or you should. So this is Joel, chapter 3 and verse 9. Proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So that's what's happening right now. The Most High God is rousing up all these nations, rousing up all of America's enemies to come against her, right? Verse 10, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. I can't think of a better example of this than North Korea. You had Kim Jong-un a number of months ago, it might be a year or so ago at this point, but he came out and publicly addressed the nation of North Korea and apologized. He apologized for all of the famine and the starvation that had taken root in his nation. But that's because he had diverted all of the efforts from growing food to building missiles. So all these nations are beating their plowshares into pruning hooks. And their pruning hooks into implements of war, into missiles, tanks, bombers. They are front loading for conflict, understanding to the victor goes the spoils. And there is no tomorrow for the loser, because we're talking about a nuclear conflict. Verse 11, assemble yourselves and come all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be weakened, and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. And in case y'all don't understand the valley of Jehoshaphat in the Bible and its geographical location, that's right smack dab in the middle of Israel today. The least of the flock that's drawing out the armies of the world. So again, to you blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians who don't quite understand that the time of redemption is near, I would suggest that you get your nose in the books and take it off and take it out of the ways of America. Take your attention off of this place. I understand you got to go to work. That's a plight we all share. But the reality is, if you don't know what's coming to you, as saith the scriptures, in these days, you are going to die here in America.
First and foremost, give them Allah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shine. You know, Moaf Lababal, you know what I'm saying? I got a lesson right now, man. I'm looking at all the people walking around, man, and I'm just kind of thinking, you know,
Thanks for spirit, man.
No, for me, it's like, I mean, it is vexing. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people, they just don't know what's going on. And for me, that it saddens my heart because, you know, you got a brother walk by talking about, you know, speaking English. And when the brother points to me and say, oh, you can speak Spanish. You trying to look like, oh, shit.
Yep.
Nah, I'm good.
In English.
In English. And it's kind of fucked up because, you know, we playing a game, right? Our people are playing a game. And I got to say we, you know what I mean? We all got to take responsibility for that because at the end of the day, it's our job right here, the guys who are out here doing this work to build a nation. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole, we got to bring back a good amount, well, I'll say at least 144 righteous people, righteous men, right? At least, right? You know, you got the whole 1/3. I believe that's people in Babylon, out of Babylon, all of that, right? But 144, 12 of each tribe, excluding Dan.
144,000. Like 1,000.
Yeah, 144,000. But yeah, no, I said 12,000 of each tribe, excluding Dan. Sorry, Dan. But you know, it's not. We can't just sit there and say, you know, that brother right there, that sister right there. No. We gotta have a kingdom mentality. You know, it's all or none. You know, and don't get me wrong, I'm not going against the scriptures and say that, you know, like the 2/3 of us gotta get, you know, destroyed. Most High willing, it's not anybody watching this video, anybody out here doing this work. But we know the prophecy. But the point of the matter is, we can't just be like, you know, that's on him, you know, and then feel cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. Hey, the Lord gonna do his work. You can't feel bad about that. You know the prophecy, you gotta be austere in it. When we out here trying to gather our people, you know, one thing that crosses my mind is, or even just in daily life, you know, some of our people are living it up, they chasing the bag, not knowing that the bag is being sold. You know what I'm saying? We steady out here trying to get it. We don't understand what's really going on. We still behind. We way behind. They think we actually coming up and making some progress when there really ain't shit. So for me, I look at that brothers like, you know, let's speak English. Hey, that's fucked up. But it hurts because it's like, you know, I know it got to happen to our people, but it don't take away from the sting of what, you know, what's supposed to happen. And the reality of the situation is some of it is going to be our family. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are dealing with that same spirits that are within our own families. People you might go to bed with, people you might see on a daily basis, people that live in your house, those same spirits. So it's kind of just hurtful, man, me seeing that. But I'm gonna get these Lamentations 4:4 real quick. I'm gonna jump around.
Yeah. So I can run and get it, buddy. You need it all. I'll read loud, man. I love that. Hey, man, don't make me do it.
All right, this is Lamentations 4:1. How has the gold become dim? How is the most fine gold changed? The stones of the sanctuary are poured out in the top of every street. The precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold. How are they esteemed as earthen pitchers and work of the hands of the potter?
And it said, you know, how has this gold dim, how has the precious sons of Zion, comparable to fine gold, how are we esteemed as earthen pitchers? Now I know this is old English, but basically the sentiment here is, how can you take a brick of gold? You know, gold's expensive right now. Been expensive, but
Crazy.
how much is per an ounce for like
I haven't
At
been
least-
following it, man, but it's crazy.
somewhere between, I'm gonna just say between 12 and 60,000
Actually, keep
for
it.
an
I'll get
ounce.
it. I'll
Go
get it
ahead,
right
yeah,
now.
go ahead. Yeah, brother, gonna get that. You talking about like a brick of gold? You just take it and like, shit, turn it into a trash can.
And then throw trash in it.
No, that's not the worst part. That's not the worst part.
What's that?
You're gonna use it as a trash can, but the whole time you struggling, goddamn rent behind, no groceries, low on EBT. You got a whole gold trash can, and this is a metaphor for our people. You know what I'm saying? I know, I've been there. This is the reality of the situation. You know, you say when I was coming up, my kinfolk, he had a song, right? But this is a common thing. You know, you hear everybody got a brain, don't use it. Even a smart man does things that's foolish. You see what I'm saying? And this is the reality of our situation, because it's basically like we got a pure gold 2-pound trash can and we throwing trash in it steadily. We own about the trash. We steadily dumping trash into it. You know what I'm saying? And then, but we behind on rent. We behind on child support. We don't have groceries. EBT, car needs work. We need money for all kind of things, right? But instead of taking that trash can and doing a smart thing with it and selling it, or, getting some money out of it, we'd rather keep it as a trash can. A pound of gold is $32,000. Woo! Boy, would I love to do with $32,000. If you gave me 10 right now, I better my situation, boy, I'll flip half of that and do something. Well, you know what? No, I'll take that back. I'll probably take some of it, put towards some debts that I have right now. Some of it, a good portion of it, put it in this camp, building us up. And the remaining of it, I'd invest in Jacob Strummel.
Yeah. Can't invest enough.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to invest in Jacob Strummel. And I'm going to keep it just like that. A lot of people don't realize that. And I'm going to just speak to the crowd real quick. I'm going to just speak to, people walking by. A lot of people don't realize what's going on right now. The housing market is crashing. We were in a recession. Inflation is high. It's about to get even worse. Oil is going to be, what is the word I'm looking for?
Unaffordable?
Unaffordable. It is inaffordable.
Unaffordable.
Yes.
Shit.
Gas and oil is going to be unaffordable. These beautiful cars all out here today, you're not going to be able to drive it. You're going to have to hop on a bike. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us work across town. We're not living next to our jobs. But even if we did, we know that that job situation, they getting rid of people for not being a good slave. You got brothers and sisters. Well, you got heathens out here. They've been preying on these little rugs. They getting fired now because just because they're Muslim. You know what I'm saying? Just because they're Muslim, they're getting fired. Our people, we adhere to plight. Los Hispanos somos Israelitos. You know what I'm saying? We are the children of the book. But a lot of our people, we recognize plight. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we recognize plight. We recognize oppression. We understand we are fine and precious gold. You know what I'm saying? We understand. So when we see these things, we recognize and we come to the fight. To fight for these people, not realizing that this is a just thing that's going on in the air. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and get not doing a couple things at once. I was trying to get out of thought, talk to the crowd, but let me go to 4. Go to 4. Skip to 4. Read down to read 4 to 6. Then stop. Yeah.
This is Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. The daughter of my people has become cruel, like the ostriches in the wilderness. The tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. They that were brought up in scarlet embrace dunghills. For the punishment of the iniquity of the daughter of my people are greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom, that was overthrown as in a moment, and no hand stayed on her. Her Nazarites were purer than snow. Oh, come on.
Now, real quick, going over that real quick again. This is the point I was trying to make. A lot of our people out here trying to get the bag. We trying to stunt. We flee amigo. We got that Uchi on. You know what I'm saying? We doing it up. You know, you just got that S550. You got that range truck. You just got a Benz. You got, you know, a lot of our people out here really trying to get it. You just, sister, you just got your second degree. You just got your master's. You just sold a property. And the crazy part is, in fact, I'm gonna put this out real quick, and I'm gonna bring out one of the curses. But it started, you know, Lamentations 1. It started off by saying, you know, the precious sons of Zion, the fine gold, their light has dimmed, and they're esteemed as earthen vessels. You see what I'm saying? It means that what? What? Look at our situation. We are some of the smartest people, and I've talked about this within the last couple weeks. Our people, just on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying? We just chilling, right? We chilling on the block, you know what I'm saying? We milli rocking, you know what I'm saying? Just you know what I'm saying? Just having fun. You get to milli rocking, and then all of a sudden it's a smash hit. Thousands of people are singing this thing now. You know what I'm saying? How you doing, sister? Sister, you Somalian?
You Ethiopian?
Ah, we can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Hey, what do you think about what your people did to us in terms of like selling us to the white man for slavery? What you think about that?
What do I think about the who?
The Africans selling the West Africans into slavery. You know, the Igbos, Yoruba. Yeah, y'all collaborated with the so-called Spaniards and all them to sell us into slavery. You know about that, right?
Oh, I definitely know about that.
What do you think about that?
My personal opinion?
Yeah.
Before I get started,
Sure. Now, what do you think the Bible? What do you think the Bible says
I
about
don't
that?
believe in the Bible.
What do you believe in?
I'm spiritual. In fact, I'm listening to a meditation.
Are you? So, do you believe in karma? I just want to ask. Do you believe in karma?
I believe in it.
So that means something should happen to you for. Like he gonna ask.
I didn't do it personally.
No. I just want to ask something. Y'all have a spiritual thing. What do y'all do? Y'all system.
I was from Somalia.
It's Somali. Okay,
I
mostly.
was taught, I know most about most of the Bible. It's in the Quran.
You're right. It means to recite
Are
Quran.
you guys preaching Christianity or?
No. We
like
preach
history?
we preach the Bible
Well-
because the original Christians are so-called blacks.
Well, you said are we preaching? You said we're preaching. Are we preaching history?
Sorry.
Well, the reason why brother like me and him believe in the Bible is because we were once Christian. A lot of us. We thought it was like a mumbo jumbo spiritual book. What we come to find out is that it's actual history, actual reality, right? This brother before I came showed up. He was just talking about the war system. We've been out here for a while talking about what's going to happen to this country, what's going to happen to a lot of the countries all over the world. It's about to be a nuclear war. You know about all the wars and the breaks and all that.
I work in the world, so yeah.
You work in that world? Do you? Okay.
I don't think there's going to be a nuclear war, but who knows? Maybe you know more than I do.
Well, let me
Are
ask
you
you
getting that
something.
from the Bible or are you getting
Right,
that from
yeah,
private
well-
information?
Well, it's from the Bible. You can say it's private, right? Because this book was only written to a specific group of people. And throughout time, there was a wave of supremacy that pushed its knowledge to everyone, as it's like all-inclusive book, right? You say you work in that world of military, right? Now, you don't believe it's going to be a nuclear war, right? Now, well, I'm gonna tell you, I don't think we will. As our leaders have been going into, well, it has everything to do with the Bible. It makes it clear. Can you give me Zechariah 14? So the whole point is, I can, yeah, but I mean, I'd rather just read it and let you see.
Yeah, I'm about to say, because when we read something, we want you to break it down, right?
Just give your understanding. Okay.
Go for it. Yeah. So this is Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Now I have a question. What's capable of doing that, sister?
Okay, first of all, you're reading the Old Testament.
Yeah, we're okay.
We're Christians, so you should be reading the
No, we're not.
No, we're not Christians. No. We're the original Israelites, the people who actually were in Jerusalem prior to 1948. We're the people who got displaced from that land.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be a clear. Or it could be a plague. It could be anything.
Well, let's break it down.
You guys know that we grew up in a religion. We believed all of this. And I remember when I was 5, they were like, end of the world is 3 months away. It's so close.
Well, that was the first one.
But let me say this. But the reason why y'all believe that is because the Bible says that the secrets of the Most High God, the Bible in its meaning, is given to his servants, the prophets. That's in Amos 3 and 7. So, to be quite frank, a Cushite trying to break down the Israelites' Bible, you're never going to understand this book. It don't matter if you memorize it.
It's like the classic Holy Catholics. No one can get it the most.
But I want to say, I have to say this. But what you're saying is essentially that all the crimes against us, because of New Age spiritualism, it doesn't get requited at all.
I think you don't need this book. You just have God already in you. And the message is that we should find love instead of like sitting here and yelling.
How have y'all? I have a question. If you're the bastion of love, how's your people loved us? You should be able to point to actions and things that you've done. Wait, hold on. Let me finish. You should be able to point to an example of your people showing the love that you're saying we should have. So can you point to one? Eritreans, Somalis.
I don't care about Somalia. History is not. I was born
You go ahead and have it, brother. You go ahead and have it.
All right, well,
All right, guys.
I'm gonna try to
Take care.
de-escalate.
Take care, my friend. Take care. God bless you
That's
guys.
all I was trying to tell you.
Maybe
She
find
goes
love.
This is Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 12. Ye Ethiopian also, ye shall be slain by my soul. So you Cushites, you're going into slavery. See, this brother is far more patient than I am. So I knew what this damn devil, Mr. Potato Head looking ass bitch, was trying to do. She was trying to leave. The moment you know who you are, brother, that's what they do. They get up the street. That's why when she found out we weren't your everyday Christians, she didn't want to talk to us anymore from that point on. Because when the name of the game is forgiveness, they want to talk. But when the name of the game is accountability, then they want to leave. That's how it works. That's why we're here to give them judgment. We're not here to instruct them on what to do in relation to the Bible, because the Bible's not for them. Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
How you doing, man? Yeah. You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay. What you need? Doing all right? You just doing a lesson. Actually, I had something, because one of the things that keeps happening as we're preaching is you have blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians who don't want to actually hearken unto the Bible, right? This is Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11. But they refused to hearken and pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear. See, many of our people, they don't want to hear the Bible. But the joke is on them, because World War III is up the street and a draft is coming. So there's going to come a time where you're going to have to put down that PS5 controller and pick up an M16. And I got news for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. If you fight in this war, you will fight against the Messiah when he returns, and you will be destroyed.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 12. The kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. For the sins of her prophets and her iniquities of her priests that have shed the blood of the just in the midst of her. Now, damn.
Somebody chiefing, man. Hard.
Now that's a, you know, the Most High is going into, well, it says, let me start over. Sorry, 12. It says, the kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would have not believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. We are seeing that the Most High, you know, allowed nations to come against us. You know what I'm saying? We are now in a time where, you know, our people are still sinning because now we have no excuse. We got brothers on YouTube, Clubhouse, Spotify, you know, everywhere, man. On the street corners, highways and the byways. We in local churches bringing it out. We're in front of your local churches bringing it out. We everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no excuse, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny because a lot of the heathens will stop and have a dialogue. Crazy part is this sister, this heathenist woman, she stopped and had a talk. She had a talk for longer than most of our people. Like I said, the brother just walked by and said, me don't speak English. Oh, this brother speaks Spanish. I'm good. You see what I'm saying? That lady stayed longer than that. You see what I'm saying? How you doing, brother? All people we'll have no excuse at this point. So let me get Revelations 12, I believe. Give me, I'm out of my people.
Oh, that's 18.
I'm gonna say this right quick. Because we went in Lamentation 4:4. It talks about the sons of Zion are as precious as fine gold, right? This is Joel 3 and 5. It says, because you have taken my silver and my gold and have carried away into your temples my goodly and pleasant things. Matter of fact, let me get the contract. Oh yeah. It says, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Got time for the Bible, sister?
Micah.
I got time for the Bible? What tribe you come from?
Huh?
What tribe you come from in the Bible?
Christian.
What's your father, if you don't mind me asking? Is he Native Hispanic?
Hispanic?
Yeah, is he?
Yeah.
Mexican?
Yeah.
Native?
Hey, look, I got a
No.
flyer for you, bro.
Spaniard?
I'm probably Spaniard, yeah.
Your father's Spaniard? Or your mother?
Probably my mom.
Okay, so if your father is Native Hispanic, you're likely from the tribe of Issachar, right? So the Mexican man and woman, y'all are from the tribe of Issachar. In the Hebrew, that means he is iron. That's why the hardest working people on the planet are who? Mexicans, hands down. There are prophecies in the Bible that say Issachar would be a strong ass or a donkey crouched down between two burdens. What's the animal for Mexico? And I'm not talking about on the flag. I'm talking about the animal of the people. The burro,
Oh, yeah.
the donkey. Y'all are actually Israelites according to the Bible. Y'all were part of the transatlantic slave trade just like we were. Y'all were actually,
I heard that somewhere.
yeah, when the Spanish conquistador came here,
Yeah.
he was not only enslaving you, but he was taking you to Spain, Portugal, parts of Africa, and back to the UK.
Yeah.
Philippines, too.
Yeah, Philippines, for the Ruta de la Plata. That's why you have Filipinos who have the last name Rodriguez. All those type of Hispanic
Yeah, all
names.
Mexicans that look like Asians.
Yeah, you call them Chinos.
Chinos.
Yeah. So y'all are Israelites, man, because y'all sharing the same curses that blacks and Native Indians sharing.
Right.
Right?
Well-
Go ahead, man.
Do you understand how big of a deal that is to be Israelite?
How what?
How big of a deal that is to be Israelite?
Well, it's because, in other words, we're special, right?
Yeah, 76. That's one thing. That is one thing. We did,
Man, I'm flipping the page.
I'm gonna show you something. What do you know about heaven?
I mean, I know that Christ paid for our sins for us to have that bridge into heaven.
Okay. You don't get Revelations 21? But let me read this because the brother said, you know, y'all basically agree that we're special people, right? The Bible backs that up. This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the
No, we're
earth.
3/5 of a human.
Above all people.
No, we're equal.
Above all people.
No, like everybody's the same. God loves everybody. We're all the
Above
same.
all
Above all people, right? So when you look at sports, you look at boxing, fighting, you look at cooking, dancing, whatever it is, music, who has the best music? Who has the best cooking? Who has the best women? Who has the best men? Who has the best soccer, football, basketball, whatever you want, race car? It's our people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's a testimony of what God said to, you know, who we are, right? Now I'm gonna tell you something real quick about Revelation. It's the last book of the Bible, right? This gives you a description about the kingdom of heaven, right? Now let me give it to you. This is the book of Revelation 21 and 12. And had a, well, let me go up here. Context. 21 and 11. It says, having the glory of the Lord, and her light was like unto the stone most precious, even as a jasper stone, as clear as crystal, and had a great wall and high, and had 12 gates, and of the 12 gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. So, me personally, I grew up thinking there's only one pearl of gates everybody walks through. This tells you that there's 12 gates. You think about like Adam and Eve, when God kicked them out of the garden, they had an angel standing there, basically like a bouncer, like, nah, you can't come back here. The 12 gates to this heaven, it has 12 angels. Why do you think that is? If you don't go, if you're not one of the 12 tribes on that list, you can't get in there. You see what I'm saying?
Technically, it's already chosen before we were even born, right?
That's true. That's true.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Yeah. Respect, bro.
I appreciate
you
you
stopping.
saying
Y'all been a beautiful family. Y'all be safe.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Get those kids, get your wife home safe tonight, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Take care. Man, you good, man?
You want a card or a flyer?
You been reading your word, though? All right, man. Yeah, well, brother, just check the channel out. You got that, right? Yeah, didn't I write it down for you? Okay. Just start watching the videos, man, and just look up Hebrew Israelites on YouTube and start getting, built up in the Bible, man, because you're going to need that knowledge, brother. Don't wait. Don't wait, man. You ain't got a lot of time. Don't wait. All right? Be safe, man, and have a good night at work, brother.
I'll be here for sure next Saturday.
Yeah, we'll be here, brother. We'll be here. See you, man.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 21. Then Jesus went thus and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David, my daughter is grievously vexed with a devil. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
Hey, man.
But he
Bless
answered
the
and
Most High
said,
God, man.
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Then she came and worshipped him, saying,
Take it.
Lord, help me. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and to cast it to dogs. And I want to bring that out real quick, while this family passes by. This also gives more credence from Jesus Christ's mouth himself, Hamashiach Yahushai, that he is only sent to the lost sheep of the tribes of Israel. He's not coming to save everybody. He's not coming to save the Cushites, the Elamites, East Indians, the Chinese Moabites, Taiwanese Moabites, Philippines, Japheth and Moabites, some Israelites. He's not coming to save Ammon, the Japanese, Esau. He's going to save you, but not in the way you think he's.
Right.
He's going to preserve you, definitely, right? But none of you people are getting saved, especially out of Babylon. When we just talked about there's 12 tribes and 12 gates. We just talked about 144,000, 12,000 of each tribe being sealed in America. In Babylon, the great whore. That has to come to pass. Anybody else outside of that, you don't fit the pericope. You know what I'm saying? You don't fit those prerequisites. And part of those prerequisites is not just believing, not just reading. You got to make a change, and you got to make some change.
Got to preach it.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 18. According to their deeds, accordingly he will repay. Fury to his adversaries, recompense to his enemies. To the islands, he will repay recompense. So as the brother is bringing out, right? To you folks who have done nothing but rape, rob, and enslave God's children, he is not sending the Messiah back to give you a new lease on life so that you can replicate those actions. You're going to be paid back according to your deeds. See, that's why you actually have some nations that are going to be shown more mercy than others. For instance, the nation of Elam. See, one thing we don't talk about is some of the mercies that that some of these nations are going to receive after they've been subjugated, right? Under Darius and Cyrus, we constructed the second temple. They allowed us to operate autonomously and provided us with the resources to do so. That is worthy of consideration. But you have a nation like the Edomites who have laid the yoke very heavily upon the old and the young. They gave no consideration to the firm and infirm, children or adult, male or female. You could get worked to death all the same. And as a result, you are going to be paid back according to your deeds. This is Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor I've had mercy on thee. So when we're talking about the gates to the kingdom of heaven, we need to understand something. When the heathen come up talking about that the kingdom of heaven is for them, they need to realize that the only part and portion you have in the construction of the kingdom of heaven is being a slave and building. Brother, you got time for the Bible today? Brother in the plaid shirt with the swag and the salt. Who's ignoring me? Who's gonna be drafted? Yep, you. See, our people, they don't even want to acknowledge that there are men out here advocating to them, trying to give them direction and information in a time that is very uncertain. But the times are coming where they're going to look for brothers like us, and we are not going to be out here. It's going to be the famine of the word, as per Amos 8 and 11. See, and this is the dire nature of this message cannot be stated well enough, because you're talking about mass death coming to America on a scale that has never been seen before. See, people talk about the Dust Bowl of the 1920s, not understanding that predominantly the white man was affected by the Dust Bowl. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we was doing all right. But the reality is, the Most High God is about to send famine the world over. And unless he's dealing with you, you will not eat. The teeth of wild beasts are going to be all about the land, because guess what? If your nation is defunct and you can't pay people to cut the grass, to trim the trees, to cut the overgrowth, then the earth is going to replenish itself the way it knows how. And you're going to have plants and trees everywhere. And that means the animals are going to take back the land. So you're going to have to be at peace with all things, not just men, but the beasts of the earth. And guess what? The Most High God has only promised safety and quarter to his people, the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and the scattered diaspora around the world. So you got time for the Bible today? 2 minutes? 2 minutes. Again, if you're Native Hispanic, sir, you're special, you're an Israelite, you're chosen of God, I would recommend that you repent and keep the laws of God, for that is your whole duty, according to the Bible, as per Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. And that goes for any black, Hispanic, and Native Indian under the sound of my voice. And some of the people who are confusion of faith. See, when the brother says that the Moabites over in Taiwan and Thailand are going to be saved, he's right on that. But there's a class of people over there known as the Maniq, M-A-N-I-Q, and they are our people. Throughout the Chinese mainland, you have the Manchu and the Kunlun people. They are our people as well. In Japan, you have the Ainu people. Now, the common thread between all these marginalized communities is that they're all treated like trash by their government and by their heathen overlords who demand work and toil out of them but compensate them very little. See, one thing is for certain. If you are an Israelite, you will not escape these curses. And brother, if you're a Native Hispanic, you're special. That's why you run faster than everybody else, you jump higher than everybody else, and you tougher than everybody else. I don't even know what he said. He said something about it. If you're Israeli, get ready for slavery. See, the reality is we don't have time to sit here and coddle people anymore, man. People still trying to have these long, drawn-out discussions on spirituality. Meanwhile, if they would shut their mouth and just learn, they would see that the Bible has literally predicted everything that's transpiring on the planet with absolute accuracy. See, and I noticed that Cushite woman who was here, she got offended when I told her that her people couldn't understand the Bible because it's not for them. See, when you bring out the fact that the Most High God is only dealing with his people and revealing the oracles of God and the prophets to his people, when you bring that to their attention, they don't take kindly to that. But there's a reason for that, and I'm going to get it in Revelations 11. You got anything, brother? After this out. This is Revelations, chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroyeth the earth. See, that's why all these nations, when you start bringing out the Bible, these heathen get very angry. They get angry enough to the point where they want to run a car into your school. See, that happened to ISUPK today. A Palestinian woman ran her vehicle into their school, probably thinking we were in league with the Israelis. Not taking enough time to learn that those people over in Israel today are not the real Israelites. They're not the real people of God. They're not the ones who went into slavery on cargo slave ship, satisfying Deuteronomy 28 and 68. They're not the ones who basically suffered the wrath of the clan. As a matter of fact, quite the contrary. The creator of the clan was a so-called Jewish man named Judah Benjamin Rothschild. I forgot his initial, Judah P. Benjamin Rothschild. Got to get it right. See, that's one of the things that if you understand history, and you understand the history of not just your own people, but the people round about in this world, you will quickly see that the prophecies of the Bible have come to pass. And the people who are in charge today, they've gone throughout the world. And the people in charge today are the white man, right? The white man's in charge. He's gone out the world over, changing the names of all these different groups and peoples. As a result, many people don't even know who they actually are. You've got people walking around literally believing that they're Iraqi when they are the Persians. As a matter of fact, most people that you call, that would call themselves Iraqi, are those who have been Americanized and taught in American schools. Because if you go over to that region of the world, they know themselves as the Persians. Their real title. And they know of their forefather, Elam, as well. When you go over to Arabia, they know themselves to be the Ishmaelites. They're not confused. But those who have been brought up under the sway of the so-called white man, you are confused. Because they taught you something called a demonym, where they name you after the name of your country. And you have to take on that name in favor of the name that was given to you by your tribe and by your God. And that's one of the things that the Messiah is coming back to rectify. And that is the cancer on two legs walking around the white man. But what you got, brother? This is Romans 9:3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of God, and the promises.
I like to bring this out. It kind of goes into what I was going into. Obviously, my lesson's been scattered up. But all praises, we had a few brothers stop just to hear the word and receive some of the information. The whole point is, one of the things the brother said when he stopped was, he believes God is going to save everybody, yada, 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 yada. He don't know the importance of being an Israelite. He don't know who he is, what his job is. This is why you need to know who you are in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And the point I'm bringing that out, part of this lesson is why is it important to know who you are in the Bible. My daily life, one thing, a common Christian thing to say is, it don't matter who you are, God loves everybody. For God so loved the world, He sent His only begotten Son. This is what you commonly hear. You don't understand that if you're an Ethiopian, what judgments are coming to you. You don't understand that if you're an Edomite, what judgments are coming to you. You don't understand if you're a Judite, a Benjamite, a Gadite, a Simeonite, a Manassite. You don't understand what is coming to you. You don't understand your judgments. You don't understand your duties. You don't understand your relationship. Because some people are allowed to do some things. Other people aren't allowed to do other things. And this goes both ways. Me as an Israelite, I cannot just wear whatever type of clothing I want. I cannot eat whatever I want. And I cannot treat another Israelite how I want. But I could do that to a heathen, depending on the circumstances and what's going on. If I was a heathen, I couldn't treat the Israelites a certain way. As we all know, Abraham, there was a plan laid out for Abraham that he will bless those. The Most High Yahweh will bless those who bless him and his seed, and he will curse them that curse him and his seed. Matter of fact, can you get that from me?
First Peter, was it cursed in? Bless her name. Yeah, Genesis. I don't think so. Well, it might be. It's in the air. I'll find it.
So it's important to know who you are, what you can celebrate.
This is Genesis, chapter 12 and we'll start at 1. Now the Lord had said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, unto a land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curseth thee. And in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed.
And the crazy thing is, the world has been blessed.
exceeded.
But it wasn't because they blessed us. You see what I'm saying? They cursed us. You don't know that precept about the cursing us? I just had it.
Can you ad-lib it a little bit? Or maybe I can. Keep going, I'll try to find it.
But these people cursed us. You know, they never helped, and they took it as, hey, you know what? Let's put them in hard bondage. Let's make everything they do hard as hell, hard for them to thrive, hard for them to survive. So when we give them a check here and there, we give them a little grace here and there, we give them a little mercy here and there, supposedly. That's looked at as a blessing by some of our people, and by most of them. They think that is truly a blessing. When really a blessing is, hey, I'm doing good in life. And then they just come give you more. That's a real blessing. You know what I'm saying? You know, you homeless, let me just give my house to you. All my food, and let me be homeless. That's a real blessing. You know what I'm saying? And even more so, if they giving away on stolen land, it's hard to even deal with that, you know. They giving away stolen property, so technically, even if they did go homeless, giving it to you, it's not even really a real blessing for real. You know what I'm saying? Whole point is, you know, these people had an opportunity to bless us, to help us. They didn't do that. You know, they have rules and laws too. They might not be as in depth as ours, you know. And a lot of our brothers, they also are trying to weave in the heathens to celebrate our holidays. There's some holidays they can't celebrate, but there's at least one I know they can. You see what I'm saying? Talking about the Passover, right? Let me go ahead and get it in Exodus. This is July kid. Exodus 12. Yeah. There's one specific part I want to bring out. But the point is, you know, you have to know who you are. To get into heaven, to get mercy, grace, salvation. Because anybody doing outside of that is a thief and a robber. You see what I'm saying? When you a subjugated Israelite just to get your blessings, you're a thief and a robber. You want to squeeze us like lemons to make orange juice. That means you squeezing the hell out them mugs, right? You do that. You got okay. But you squeezing the heck out of it just to make something, you know, that isn't even possible, and that's how they do us, man. They have an insatiable lust. They said, hey, you know what? We don't have to bless them for us to get blessed. Hey, they love with that thing, man. Let me see.
I got precept.
Let's see. I'm gonna read this real quick. It says, this is Exodus 12 and 24. It says, and ye shall observe this thing for an ordinance to thee and to thy sons forever. And it shall come to pass, when ye be come into the land which the Lord will give you, according to as he has promised, that ye shall keep his service. And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, what mean ye by this? That ye shall say, it is the Lord's sacrifice. It is the sacrifice of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the houses of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians and delivered our houses, and people bowed their head in worship. And the children of Israel went away as they did, and the Lord commanded. Lord had commanded Moses and Aaron, so did they. This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verse... We started at 7, right? No. Yeah, the 7. And the first day, you shall have holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. Offering shall be made by fire on the 7 days. And the 7th day is a holy convocation. You shall do no servile work therein. Salakia. The point I'm trying to make is no heathens can eat of the Passover, right? I'm trying to find that, but I'm a little slow on the trigger, right? Point is, you got to know who you are. There's instructions for all people, what they need to do to get these blessings, to get these curses. So it's important. And the reason I'm bringing this up, right, is because a lot of our people are in denial or in ignorance, thinking that we can just go about and eat of every tree. Well, some of these trees, some of these fruits that we cannot eat of. You know, I just saw a lot of East Indians out here doing whatever God knows they're doing. We got protests all over America supporting the Hamas, supporting the Israelis, the liars. And our people out there helping them and supporting them because we recognize oppression. And just like Martin Luther King Jr., we believe that an injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere, not realizing that some of these injustices that are being done are just. They are righteous. Indignation being laid upon these people. It's a righteous recompense. It's a divine recompense, a divine, I just said judgment. The phraseology I'm looking for, I can't think of right now. For the hope. But the point of the matter is, you got to know who you are, right? So some of these heathens, you know, like this lady said, I wish I was able to pick her brain more, right? Me personally, I don't care if she believes or not. You know, it could have went either way with her, but I wanted to ask her, like, okay, you don't believe there's going to be a third world war, right? You know, I would love to bring out, you know, scriptures that talk about then you would know a prophet has been among you. But I'd like to, you know, ask her, you know, with all the pieces and the cards being set up the way that they are, how in the world is it not going to be a third world war? I mean, technically speaking, it already is. You got the Hezbollah and Hamas with the Israelis, America's helping them, even if you're just saying financially speaking. Taiwan and China, Philippines and China, Russia, Ukraine, America's involved in all of that. Japan, you know what I'm saying? There's wars around the world. And everybody else is gearing up, clicking up. They putting them bullets in they stuffing them magazines full of bullets. They adding just one more missile. They ready to get it in. You know what I'm saying? This is why you need to know who you are. You never know. You might go out to one of these protests trying to support these people who are acting like you, trying to be you, and the Most High mow you down in some gunfire. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you believe of who Jesus Christ is going to save. Why in the world would you go against the God of the Bible, right? And if you don't read your book, if you don't know who you are, what's going on, it's very easily for you to get mixed up in that situation. This brother just talked about it earlier. You go to war, when that drought comes, you're gonna die. I think there's even more. I mean, the thought of going against the Most High is even the worst thought to me. You know, Some of our people don't care about dying. I come from that lifestyle. You know, and a matter of fact, I just saw a couple interviews came out with Loca D. You know what I'm saying? That maniac Latin disciple in Chicago that killed those 2 Latin kings. Mexican brothers. She killed her own people. Those are our people, right? Because we caught up with that evil lie, Deuteronomy 28. Was it 54? Right, come. We got an evil eye, you know what I'm saying? She don't know who she was. They didn't know who they was. This is the lifestyle that we are kind of wrapping ourselves into because we don't know who we are. We believe that, oh, you know what? I'm stoned to the bone till I'm gone. 7-4 to the world blow. And people are really getting into that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They cripping and rolling and suit whooping and all of that because they don't know who they are. A lot of our people, they come by and they say, I know who I am. Still thinking they're a color in a crayon box. Still thinking they're their name of, that the oppressor gave to them. Thinking that Jesus is going to save everyone. But really, they don't believe that. They partially do because they still get to live the life that they want to. Had they known who they were, they'll harken up real good. Some of them, you know, and understand, okay, now that I know who I am, I got a responsibility. If I know I'm an Ethiopian, I know ain't nothing but death and destruction coming my way. So what I got to do that? Hey, you know, bless the children. Hey, listen, man. Our camp about 2 strong. You know what I'm saying? We have people who congregate every once in a while, but I'll say this. I wouldn't mind this government official of Somali, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind her, you know, coming to camp every day, making sure my shoes are shiny, opening my bottles of water for me. Hey, you who congregate? You got to prove to me that you're ready to serve the men of the Lord. Would I trust her? No. You know, and you know, Sirach 12 and 10 tells you not to let them sit by you, right? But hey, man, hey, sister, you come by the camp and massage my shoulder while I'm bringing the word out. You feel me? My ankle hurts. God damn it. You do that, that'll bring some, that might bring some mercy to you, possibly. But ain't no telling, you know. Might be too far gone for you. We could have told you to go back to where you came from. I wish I could have told her that. But I wanted to bring out some of the prophecy to set up that foundation to ask her and understand why is it that she believed. Now, I know she's only going to give me so much. And truth be told, she might have been sent down here to watch us. So for some reason, there's all these government agents that come around to this one little part. And they, you know, they in their fucking house clothes and shit. Like, you know, like they just comfortable as hell. Why you look like you just got off the shower, you got a robe on and shit? Put some clothes on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they always in this one little spot. We off in the cut right here. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that come through here, but let's be real. Like, I don't think this is a place, you know, this ain't no government stuff right here for this many government officials to come through. Go ahead, bring it out there.
So what the brother's bringing out is, because when that sister walked up, I thought she was one of our women. She walking around basically butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Got a tube top on and some basically clean garments showing all of the stuff. But that's what happens when you come to Babylon, man. You get turned out following this white man. See, people don't realize, man, the way the white man used to live, man, he used to have orgies in the streets. Now he do it behind closed doors. See, and you know they never change, because one of the things that happens at these old folks' homes, see, I see a bunch of old crackers walking around, gonna let them know about themselves, right? At these old folks' homes, they be having outbreaks of syphilis and herpes all the time, because they figure without the risk of having children, you know, free sex is free game. So they be swapping partners, and they be getting all types of diseases. Shit, I saw a story the other day, the Cialis plug died. Or he got arrested. Yeah, he got arrested. He was moving weight in Cialis and Viagra. You know what I'm saying? Like, so these Edomites, man, they're a very debaucherous group of people. But the thing is, though, in these days, we're going to see the evil people of our nation joining hands with them. And I'm going to bring that out in 1 Maccabees 1. This is 1 Maccabees, chapter 1, and verse 10. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 130th and 7th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So it's not just these heathen who come from all over the earth to come to America to enjoy her delicacies. Our people make leagues and covenants with the heathen as well, so that we get the permission to do as they do. See, one of the reasons why Black, Hispanic, and Native American women behave the way they do now is because they've been given the option to do so by the oppressor, and none of the drawbacks of being excommunicated from your communities, facing reprisal from the authoritarian structure within your community. So living under the white devil who's walking over on stolen land, our people have a battery in their back, thinking they can do as the heathen do, not understanding that we're the ones who are still under the curses. We're the ones under the laws of the Bible. See, that's why our sisters might be walking around dressed like harlots, a white van pull up, and they ass disappear. See, because one of the things that's not talked about is the most trafficked woman on the planet is the black woman in particular of the nation of Judah. Sure. Yeah. Actually, I was going to bring it out and more. There's more. This is First Maccabees 1 and 10. We're going to start over. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You want to say something about that? Hit it.
And it's all through the spirit, man, because part of this lesson, and I'm doing a lot of talking, man. I want people to understand. I want people to come to a level of understanding because, you know, it's just ever more present to me that people don't understand nothing about the Bible that they believe in. You know what I'm saying? They read God loves everybody, John 3:16, but they don't know what that really means. They don't understand what that means. You know? But it's through the spirit because his brother brought out, you know, like I said, this is all about knowing who you are. And this came off through interactions I've had within the last couple of weeks through family members, co-workers, supervisors, and whatnot. But that brother said there came out a wicked root named Antiochus. You know what I'm saying? Came out a wicked root named Antiochus, right? That's cool because I had Romans 11 and 16. And it says, for if the first fruit be holy, the lump is also holy. And if the root be holy, so are the branches. And the cold part about it is, it said a wicked root, Antiochus. So not only did, when you read that again, it said he made a decree, right, to bring everybody together. So you got to understand that not only through this man's seed is his branches going to be unholy, but also through his deeds, his fruit is going to be unholy. And what is laying out right there is everybody coming together, you know what I'm saying, and being a one people. Go ahead and bring that out one more time, brother.
Come. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Now, one thing I got to bring out about this, one of the ordinances of the Greeks at that time was to go to a gymnasium. What most people don't realize is when you used to have to attend an ancient gym, you had to go butt naked. So you had a bunch of sweaty men in a gym, butt naked, engaging in homosexuality. See, that's why here in America, you have men who will go to a bathhouse and sleep with literally strangers. They don't even know their first or last name. And they'll have orgies at bathhouses. That is a Greek custom. See, that's why the Bible tells you to learn not the way of the heathen, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Your God is telling you to separate from the very same people who've done nothing but destroy you. See, that's why when all these gay folks was getting monkeypox, I'm going to be real, I thought it was hilarious. Because if all of this bravado for all the medications concerning HIV, concerning all these autoimmune diseases that you contract from doing poppers or amino nitrates and having homosexual sex and getting STDs all the time, people got real comfortable until the Most High God hit their ass with a plague that they couldn't see coming. And the Most High God made sure they had to bear their shame in public. Most of them had them damn pox around their lips. See, that's how the Most High God get down. And now that's what's going to happen again. The Most High God about to bring them plagues back. Because our people are way too comfortable emulating the ways of the heathen.
Starting at 11. So proud.
Yeah. Okay. This is 1 Maccabees 1 and 11. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, that they went to the king who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
That's cool. Because again, this is just our people. I don't want to wear fringes. Let me go holler at the mayor of San Antonio, Texas. Let me go holler at Mr. 12, who's been watching my block all week. Do I have to do this? Do I have to do this? Well, this is the book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than man. And this is the cool part about it. You know, speaking of thieves and robbers of these other nations, our own people are thieves. We are trying to be like Esau, fugitives and vagabonds, right? One way or another, because the brother just brought it out that we were following the fugitives and the vagabonds of the earth. You know what I'm saying? We were following them. We like, hey man, I'm tired of starting my own business. I'm tired of being the man of the house. I'm tired of, you know what I'm saying, being a god on this earth. I'm tired of being the best at everything. I want the heathens to come and build for me, set it up, and then govern me, rule me. I'm bringing in all the finance, all the talent, all the looks, but I want them to oversee. And then be mad and complain about the outcome, right? You know, it says we ought to obey God rather than man. And the whole premise of this verse that this brother was bringing out was, you know, they got tired of serving God. They want to find a way out of it. And that's how people today, it says we ought to obey God rather than man. We are, Amos, one second. I'm not going to talk about breeding.
I got a precept.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Now, the whole point is, you know, we over here trying to find a way out of our instructions, our judgments, but we are not in trouble. Hello, family. How y'all doing? Y'all doing all right tonight?
They got time for the Bible?
Y'all Hispanic? Somos Israelitos. ¿Tú sabes? Escuchaba? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of God, the children of Israel, as the Bible speaks of, right? And our problem is we're steadily going to the heathens to set up false doctrines, decrees, systems for us to get out of our God-given duty, our position on earth, not knowing that we're not in trouble the same way they're in trouble, right? It's the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. It says, hear this word. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which are brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. The East Indian is not getting in trouble for eating pork. The white man's not in trouble for eating squirrels. The Hamite, the natural Hamites, the Salakia, the Nilotes, the Cushites, the Canaanites, which would be the Zulu, Xhosa, and a few other other tribes, Khoisan, they're not in trouble for eating rat. The Igbo, Edo, Hausa, Ewe, Fulani, Wolof, they're in trouble for eating rat. Yeah. You got to, hey, that blood is, hey, it's got to come back upon your head, man. So us in America have a confusion of faith. We don't understand who we are, what our purpose is, what our duty is, who we belong to, who we should commune with. We're steadily falling into every wind of doctrine, falling into crowds of people who don't love us because we believe skin folk is skin folk. And really there's only two types of skin folks. Esau, the non-melanated, white, Caucasus, Mountain American, Western, European, and some Eastern. It's those and the rest of the world. The rest of the world is melanated. I was just, what was that the other day? East Indian dude, darker than me, man. Yeah, one of them is just my shade, the other one is darker than me. You can call us skin folk. I mean, they don't have that luster and that glow like I do. Let's keep it 100. But, y'all believe in the Bible?
Going into slavery according to the Bible. Yeah, buddy.
You know that? Did you know you are going into slavery? Give me Obadiah. I'll give Revelation.
The man gave us the howdy doody. Hey, how you doing, buddy?
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 10. Salakia, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints of the Most High God of the Bible and of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Israel, Judah, flame fire, one more house.
Look at 18.
This is Obadiah, chapter 1 and 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them, and devour it. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord had spoken. So, straightforward to the point. All these Edomites have to be done away with. Now, a lot of us go to Obadiah 1 and 18, but Obadiah is a treasure trove of judgment for the Edomites, because it also gives you another scripture that tells you why they have to be cut off, right? This is Obadiah 1 and 9. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. No, that was 1 and 9 through 10. Okay. Well, hold on, let me break that down. But the reason why I wanted to go into that is, a lot of times we'll read 18, and then a lot of these crackers be walking around going, well, why God want to do that to us? But see, verses 9 through 10 give it perspective, where you get to see you're not being cut off for nothing. Most like God didn't just go, yeah, you know what? I'm going to decommission y'all as a people on the planet. Come on back to the spirit realm. They being cut off for their violence against their brothers. right? And when I say their brothers plural, I mean the 12 tribes of Israel, right? The real Israelites. See that little piddly ass, Holocaust? I mean, I know the H word be like triggering the censors and shit, but you know what? We gonna say it, right? The Holocaust, right? The Holocaust that they say 6 million so-called Jewish people perished in, but yet you couldn't find a roster or register that shows that there were more than 2 million of them in existence. And some way, somehow, we're supposed to compare 4 to 5 years of suffering with 400 years of hardcore rape, robbery, and slavery. It's not even a contest. Just for the black man alone, we had to bear the loss of 100 million people. And we're not even talking about the other 150 million of our Hispanic and Native Indian brothers. So it's not even a contest. And according to Daniel 9 and 12, it hasn't been done to any nation as has been done to Israel in terms of suffering. That's how we know we're the people, right? But this is Obadiah 1 and 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are the hid things sought up?
And that was part of my lesson. I'm glad that brother went to, I sent him to Obadiah. But the whole point is, you got to check that spirit within you. And again, this goes back to who we are as a people. Like this brother said, these are people that are proud. They're not getting thrown down and eradicated and genocided for nothing. We come out here and we're telling them, hey, not even us, right? You got the natural Gentiles that actually telling them, hey, man, stop killing us. What's going on in Israel right now? You got the Hamas over there marching like they're Black Lives Matter or something, right?
And we know that shit don't.
They've been fighting with them people for a long time. They said, fuck this shit. Pick up the... I wish my people had that spirit. I give them that much. Our people get on our knees and get the double-handed, you know what I'm saying, eating that banana, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
It's pepper grinder method, you know what I'm saying? That's my people. That's our people, right? I just wish a group of white people say, fuck these people. Hey, man. But I'm gonna be honest, like I understand, our weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but at the same time, our people act like, hey, get down and lay down, but when you hear that, they think get down and lay down. They bending over and putting their legs up with this thing, man. They're not trying every method, and that's a cold part about it. Maybe that's what our problem is, man. We're too carnally minded. We think we're deep, so we want to do some spiritualism type of shit. Follow all these other people, still getting it wrong, because all the carnal things that we've tried are not working. The Most High said that there will be no might in our hand, and everything we set our mind in our hands to do shall come to naught. So come to naught. We're gonna fail. And our people don't understand that. But again, that has to come to who we are. That's why it's important, right? If I'm at work and people get to asking and saying this dumb shit to me like they be saying, I wish I was right in front of them right now. If I could tell them it matters who you are, good or bad. These are your instructions. These are the things that you need to know. This is the war that you're fighting that you don't even know you're fighting. You don't know who your enemies are, right? You want to love every goddamn body, and they hate your goddamn guts. Shout out to Muhammad Khan, right? Let me get but hold on, let me speak on this real quick. We spoke about if a thief was to go rob somebody, they're gonna leave some stuff behind, right? They're gonna bail in, they're gonna bail out. They're gonna get some of the stuff, they're not gonna, it talks about the spirit of Esau, about him stealing all the grapes. They took everything. And being insatiable, right? Well, a lot of our people, we gotta check our own spirits because we have that same spirit on us, right? Esau is a people and a man. But I believe there are spirits that were within that devil that, because we follow after him, coming out of the political system, societal structure, school system, indoctrination camps, ways of life, ways of thinking, you know, like the white supremacist mindsets and things like that. These are things that we got to check within ourselves. You know, if a thief were to go rob you, they would, I mean, as fucked up as it is, they would leave something. Something. You know what I'm saying? You might have a broken window, no food, no money, no jewelry, but your ass would have blankets to cover up with that cold ass night. Esau not leaving a goddamn thing. As we can see over there in Israel today. Amalek, the worst of the heathens. He's over there, hey man, we not good with that 1948 shit. We gotta take some more, right? That's what they're doing. And a lot of these people are protesting, they don't understand what's going on. What's going on, brother? You a Hispanic man?
Yeah.
Hey, let me take this card from me, brother. You don't want to take a card? You special, man. You guys chosen people, man. Y'all here having a good time working out, looks like. We just taking a stroll. You don't know that war's coming to America in the form of Sarmat, a nuclear bomb. Boom! It's gonna rain down on this place, man. Hey, your Daisy Dukes and your nice fancy shoes ain't gonna help you run away from that, brother. You gotta repent. Kingdom of heaven is at hand for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. High time for you to get right with the Most High God of this Bible, so you don't die in a famine, race war, nuclear bombs, or the powers that be take you up and do a level of experiments on your body, right? Or eat your ass. But Khan, I wanted to bring out that, spirit, that's one of those spirits of Esau. You know, he want to gather all the grapes and not leave for anything. Us knowing who we are, we got to understand that charitable giving is a good thing, right? In Ecclesiastes, I'm not going to get into it, but maybe I'll bring it out in a minute, but talks about knowing who you give it to. Because if you give to somebody to go do something wicked, that's going to be requiring something for the bone of your head. You know what I'm saying? So giving alms and being charitable about it is a righteous thing. Our people need it the most. We are the downtrodden, the below, we at the bottom of everything in society. Being charitable to give alms like that is an important thing. Something our people need to know, because we are the only people that don't understand that and need to learn it. Us not knowing who we are, we don't think to say, you know what, it's a righteous thing to give, right? This brother needs something, hey, let me, it don't matter if it's a Snickers, you know what I'm saying, or money for a tire, right? Rent, you know what I'm saying? Some of us are out here doing bad. And the money that we somehow are able to collect in wickedness to fund fund this country, really and truthfully, fund this country. It ain't just the bad habits that we have. We literally fund this country. Our money circulates and makes this country run. And the fucked up part about it is Esau has drained the well. He has run this cow into the ground so he can no longer get milk from it pretty soon. This well that he's draining, this vineyard that he's not leaving any grapes. Oh snap, man, how y'all doing? Y'all going fishing or y'all?
We fix it to you.
You fix it too? Okay, man. Yeah, y'all got time for the Bible real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. What do y'all know about the Bible?
Quite a bit. Not as probably as much as y'all do.
Okay. Well,
We appreciate that.
what we're out here. You're Hispanic, right?
Yes, sir.
What version? Like you Mexican,
I guess.
Puerto Rican, or?
Probably Mexican, I guess.
Okay. So what we're doing is we're out here. We're called what you would call Hebrew Israelites, as some people like to say. Not black Hebrew Israelites, but just Hebrew Israelites, right? Well, we're out here. If you look at that card I gave you, at the bottom it has the 12 tribes of Israel in the Western Americas. You get Deuteronomy 7 and 6 for me? And we're gonna just tell you real quick. The Israel, the people of the Bible, this is who we are today. Me, you and I don't look exactly alike, right? But I'm here to tell you that we are the same people. You see what I'm saying? The things that have happened to the black man in America have also happened to the Hispanic man in America and the Native American man in America. You understand? So we're out here to tell you that y'all, all of y'all are God's chosen people. You're above everybody on the face of earth. Go ahead and get that for me. And you're special to God, right? And there's certain things that we have to do to avoid the nuclear bombs that Putin's aiming at this country right now. You understand? We're in San Antonio. We got about, what, 7 bases here alone? Hey, we're at the top of that list most likely. You know what I'm saying? So war's gonna kick off. We got to get right with God, right? So go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people to the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? So with y'all being so-called Mexican, y'all go back to the tribe of Issachar in the Bible. Issachar in the Hebrew is Ishashakar, means he is higher. Who are the hardest working people in existence? Mexican people, obviously, right? Y'all pave all the roads, you build all the buildings, you cook all the food. But that's a special ability that the Most High God put in y'all. That's why anybody who works next to you, y'all make us look lazy. That's why I personally hate working with y'all, because I always look bad. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, y'all are our people. And down in Mexico, y'all have something called cenotes. The rock formations that are open at the top with pools of water at the bottom. Y'all used to use those as maps for the stars at night. That's how y'all came up with something like the Aztec calendar, right? Y'all used to lead the other tribes when the Most High God would put signs in the heavens and the stars. You would tell us where to go. Cool. So what we want to tell you real quick is we're going to break down that the promises are for y'all, and then we're going to let y'all go if y'all don't have any more time, right?
All right. This is Paul. I'm just reading what he said. This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 1. It says, I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I wish that myself were accursed from Christ, my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh. Right? Who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption. That means the grafting in. You hear about that a lot, right? God is going to graft us in. Well, what Paul is saying right here, the grafting in pertains to the Israelites, right? And I'll explain that in a second. It says the glory, which is the land and all the bad things you can think about, you know, this Bible, right? It says the covenants. That's the first covenant and the second covenant, new covenant. Where am I at? And the giving of the law and the service of God and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Christ came, who is over all, God blessed forever. Amen. Now, you know, I might have read it kind of choppy a little bit, right? What Paul's saying right here is this is a New Testament. He's saying that Christ came for nobody but the Israelites. We even have scriptures where Christ says that himself, right? He said Christ has only come for the Israelites and everything, even the service of God. So when people pray, if they're not an Israelite, they don't have God's service. God's not hearing their prayers. You know what I'm saying? There's even scriptures that talk about if you are God's chosen people, how to make sure he does hear your prayers. If you're sinning, he does not hear your prayers. You understand? If I'm out here living a wicked life, if I'm a pedophile or a murderer, God's not going to hear my prayers. I don't get to say, you know, Hail Mary 3 times or God forgive me and everything go away. I have to get punished for that. You understand what I'm saying? This is the God that we serve. So we're out here to teach our people that y'all are all special. Y'all are all special. The trials and tribulations that y'all face in life, there's a reason for it, right? That's a testimony from you. We have Deuteronomy 28. If you're looking at the written section, right, the highlighted gray, in there it talks about some of the curses. When you get to Deuteronomy 28, you just read down. It talks about bad knees, diseases, famine, money falling out your pockets, broken households, domestic issues, you know, things like that. Evil eye towards our brothers. We look at predominantly where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans live. Everything that is listed in Deuteronomy 28:15 all the way down to 68 has happened to us or is a part of our history. So this is how we identify who the children of Israel are, how you guys are special, how we are to conduct ourselves with you. As I was just telling this brother right now, right? One of the issues that we have in our communities is that we don't give to each other, right? That's not a big thing. You know, we'll give, hey, bro, I need, a dime bag of weed, somebody might give then if they could have some, but we don't have issues where it's like, hey, man, I'm short on my rent. You don't have a community of people coming out to help you guys. So, there's ways that we ought to conduct ourselves with each other, whether it's coming together in righteousness, being holy, treating each other, not dealing falsely with each other. I can't lie to you and try to, sell you something that's not worth that much and let you pay overpriced. I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So this is what we're doing. We're preaching out of the Bible to tell, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we are the chosen people of God. And as you can see, there's groups of people out here that they're living their best life. And I got fishing rods in my car right now, so I already know what's going on. You know what I mean? I might join y'all in a minute, but the point is, we're out here just trying to, chill. We're just trying to have a break in life. You get what I'm saying? Everybody else says they come here, all the civil injustices that we had to fight for, they come over here and they just get it. Was that Stop Asian Hate? Within 1 year, that issue, they had money, they had millions of dollars put forth their cause to stop Asian hate. This land belonged to y'all. Texas, Tejas, Bexar County. You know what I'm saying? You guys should be living in a mansion right now. They should, all the money that Texas, Mexico, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California, all the money that's generated within those 4 states, y'all need to be living rich, man. Y'all need to be the new Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Like, above them. But when we understand, the Bible tells us why that we're not living like that right now. You understand? And that's what we do. But I won't hold y'all up too much. Y'all going fishing. Hey, I hope y'all catch some good ones. Y'all bass fishing tonight, or what are y'all doing? Anything. I feel you, man. Y'all taking them home? Nah, oh man. Hey, I've been down here a few times. I didn't realize it's like a waterfall right there, but I got some rods in my car. I might stay out here a little bit longer and see if I can catch something. I be seeing them moving in the water here and there. So, y'all have a good night. Have a blessed night, brother. Make sure your family gets home safe tonight, all right? Y'all have a beautiful evening.
All praise to the Most High God. And while they walk away, I want them to hear the real name of their God. Your God's name is not God. God is a title. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh. You've heard of Yahweh, right? That's modern Hebrew, right? The real Hebrew that Christ spoke when he was on the earth, he called the Most High God Yahweh. And his name was not Jesus. It was Yahweh Shai. That should be on your flyer, brother and sister. Make sure y'all learn that name. Because in those days, when you pray to the Most High God, you need to know his name. All right? Y'all take care. All praises to the Most High God. All right? And that's all we out here to do. Let blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians know who they really are. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're relying on your oppressor and your enemy to teach you who you are in their schools, why would they do that? Because that would spell their downfall.
Treat you right, they ain't gonna teach you right.
Yeah. Brother said it the way it is. If they can't treat you right, how can they teach you right? The Bible says it like this. He who is evil to himself, to whom shall he do good? When you look around, why would you poison the air? You see these folks flying these planes around, chemtrail in the air, geoengineering. See, once upon a time, they called you crazy if you pointed that out. But now they flat out admit it. See what I'm saying? So these people are doing evil to themselves, and yeah, we expect them to do well to us. It don't work out. Y'all got time for the Bible tonight?
We're headed back to our hotel. Check
Okay,
that out,
okay.
man. Y'all special, hey, brother. Keep our home safe. Y'all be safe.
Yeah. We got to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we got to let them know that it's not a coincidence that you stronger than everybody else. You faster than everybody else. You smarter than everybody else. You special. Read Deuteronomy 7 and 6. We bring that out over and over and over again. But it's something we're going to keep bringing out. Because the reality is that our people have been beat down for so long that we think we're like everybody else. See, the thing that we often don't state loudly enough is that when we're neck and neck with a heathen in this world, even if it's economically, we're the ones coming out of chattel slavery. Y'all got time for the Bible tonight?
2 minutes.
Y'all Hispanic? Hispanic? Hey, take a flyer, bro. You take a flyer?
That's cool, brother. Yeah,
Hey,
man.
we out here for y'all, though.
We out here for them. But see, to our people who don't want to listen and they turn away their shoulder from hearing the word of God, even their prayers are going to be an abomination. So when you get that recruitment and draft letter in the mail, don't go, oh, God, help me. Because you had your chance to get brought up to speed on what was coming and to prepare yourself for the temptations of this world. And as a result of your hard-headedness and your stiff-neckedness, you're going to just be out there, man. Most High God ain't going to cover you. See, Isaiah 13 says it best, man. Those who remain joined unto our adversaries when our Messiah returns, hell, even before he comes back, when these race wars kick off in America, you're going to get put to death, man. See, Vladimir Putin just said this week that the Israelis over in Israel don't belong in that land. He said that they were basically infidels or invaders. Now, my question is, if they're the real chosen people of God, how are they invaders on their own land? Maybe they're not the chosen people of God.
He said they're occupied. They're
Yeah.
occupying powers.
Yeah, he told them that they were occupiers. Now, see, the reality is coming out that they're no different than the white man that's over here in America, occupying America. Whether it be Texas, New Mexico, Nebraska.
It's cold that Putin would say that because they're occupiers. I don't know if you
Now,
know that.
yeah.
Because when you talk about indigenous people of Russia, they're Asian.
Yeah, well, you talking about Jeff. Those are,
No, I mean that too, but
Yeah.
I'm saying that like modern times, right? After, all the switching and pushing out and all that other stuff, the native people in Russia, they'll say that they're natives, right?
yeah.
They're Asian. They sound like Russian, they speak Russian, all of that. It's Moab.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
They're like, oh, we're natives. So regardless whether it's the actual Japhites or even the Moabites, Russia's they're occupied. They're occupying power.
But here's the thing you got to understand. When you're dealing with the Edomites, you're dealing with the accuser of our brethren who accuse us to the Father day and night. You're talking about hypocrites. Let Jake kill one of his brothers in the hood. They bring up the violence in Chicago all the time to downplay the violence that they put on us every day. Well, you kill each other. Okay, but that doesn't give you an excuse to kill us by the thousands every year because your cops have bloodlust. Come on. Right? So we have to consistently defend our position from a moral standpoint. But the sharpest sword you can have when they contend with you about who's worse and who does the worst to other people is the Bible. That's the sharpest sword you need. Because when you go into the New Testament, you're talking about Israel being occupied by the Romans. Who are the Romans and who are they today? So-called white people. If you read the Apocrypha and you read the books of 1st and 2nd Maccabees, when our people were taken into captivity by the Greeks, who are the Greeks? So-called white people. But the reality is, like this brother brought out, they weren't even the original Russians, just as they weren't the original Romans, and they weren't the original Greeks.
Bring that out too.
What's up?
Hey,
I'm gonna speak on that real quick. You know how cold that is for them to run Japheth out of their land and then run them into Eastern Europe and then run their ass out of there to down through Elam's land, down into the South Pacific,
But they enslaved Elon.
down to the Pacific Island. God damn. Hey, because we know that some of our brothers was like enslaved in Greece, right? So more than likely, some of them Asian Pacific Islanders are us. More than likely, right? We got taken in there all day, and then when you look up history, it says that the Chileans, the Mexicans, and some of the other Central South Americans were doing trade with these Pacific Islanders. This is why you see some of their customs being diffused, right? So on top of Mexico, Spain taking Mexican brothers over there, you know what I'm saying? So we are well acquainted with the history, a lot of the history that's going on within this earth. But it's cold because This brother was talking about they bring up Chicago to justify a murder that they committed in San Antonio, Texas, in New Braunfels, Texas, in Laredo, Texas, in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, you know, Riverside, California, the IE, LA County, you know, different things like that. They use those things to justify, you know, murders that happen in those places and say, you know, Chicago, LA, Houston, and Dallas, y'all got it cracking over here. The cold part about it is that you have to dismiss a laundry list of history. You have to dismiss a lot of different things to create that perfect situation for brothers and sisters that now just want to kill, and have a bloodlust to each, and really they don't even, like they do, but they don't. Let's be real, it's not the same. You know what I mean? A lot of our people, yeah, we will kill innocent of our people, we will do that. We're not exempt from that judgment, right? But, you know, me growing up in the hood, a lot of people, I mean, understand that, you know, the time say that, you know, love shall wax cold for many. This is the time that we're in, right? But you got to understand that growing up, we still have morals and rules, even when it was in that underhanded wickedness stuff, right? When you was gangbanging, you didn't hit up the kids in the mom's house, the kids, the girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things you just didn't do. I mean, that's changed now to some degree. Some places more than others. But we had rules, right? Even now, like brothers, you know, they still be giving passes on certain things. And there's certain times, you know, there's certain lines that they're not gonna cross. You know, and I forgot the main point I wanted to make on that, but you know, yeah, we killing each other with a high rate, but a lot of these brothers can hop on the phone with each other and talk about stuff, even joke and laugh before they go out and kill each other, right?
That's what happened in jail.
And don't get me wrong, like I understand that times have gotten a lot worse, but you know, there were rules in place. We weren't just doing these things. So you got, like I said, you gotta omit a lot of history and a lot of things that was put in place to create this situation, right? We didn't make no switches. Not initially. We didn't make Glocks. We didn't make Rugers. We didn't make revolvers, 38s, 40 cals. We didn't make all this bullshit that people are AR-15, M16. We didn't make these things. We didn't come up with this shit, right? Nor did we drop it off in the middle of a poor neighborhood in the middle of the night in the gang-infested area. We didn't do that, right? They did that. And the cold part about it is, I'm of the belief that they're probably sliding in some of these tenant cars, Esau, or Esau-controlled heathens, or some of ours, the police, government officials, they hit somebody up, and then try to blame it on the next man of our people to start a gang war, right? We know they go through dire lengths to keep us confused, keep us distracted, keep us enthralled with their BS, keep us in sin. And the thing is, you know, like you know, when you talk about Chicago, like, come on, man. The social media alone kicked up wars that weren't the same back then. You know what I'm saying? Hell, if we didn't have social media and the news and all that other shit, first of all, if we didn't have social media, there's no Chief Keef. You know, there's no FBG Duck, there's no Little Dirt, there's no Lil Reese, there's no FBG Cash, there's no FBG Wooski. You see what I'm saying? There's no Taekwon World. There's not a lot of different things. There's no drill music, is my point. So, you gotta think like, in any way you can wanna frame it, whether it be from the destitute situations that these people are put in, they don't have no money, and that's the cold part about it. They put us in, like I said, they want to get blessings out of us. They put us in so hard of conditions that the only way for us to get ahead or do anything, you know, for them to look good, they try to give us a blessing, which is easing up the yokes around our neck, proverbially speaking. that's the blessing they give us. A little bit of a release from that tension they putting on us. And somehow that counts for something, right? They do that. They created those conditions, right? People ain't got no money, no jobs. What they want to do? They want to rob. And you can say, you know, and like I said, back in the day, we didn't get no points for picking on the weak. That's the cold part about it. We didn't get no points for picking on the weak. You know, and that was the point I was trying to make earlier. A lot of our people, they're going out through, you know, they dog eat dog world, but they're like, we hunt wolves. We out here for the people who's actual threats. We're not out here for a 9-year-old kid that, you know, threw up a gang sign we didn't like. Some of our people are doing that now. You know, the love 'em in is wax cold, but the majority of us, we're not going for it. It's not a big priority to us. So, you know, the conditions they created for us to be that way, to be in that mind state, take us to jail, kick us out, tell us, you know, find a job when nobody wants to hire a felon. These conditions that they continuously created incentivize our women. This is how they infiltrated our households, break up our households and do all the manners of wickedness to us. They created these situations and then gave us guns that they made high-powered and went from muskets and front loaders to goddamn semi-automatics to fully automatics to switches and all type of stuff. And all these things they're locking us up for. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They're locking us up for all of those different things, laid up all these traps and snares for us to kill each other, and then lock us up for that as well. But go ahead, bro.
So like the brothers bringing out, right? Like all these rappers talking about drill music, drugs, and all that stuff. Them niggas didn't come from nowhere, man. Right? They came from the sorceries and the media of our oppressor, right? Media like the internet, like he brought out. If it weren't for the internet, you wouldn't be able to get the imagery into your house to learn how to sip lean. You wouldn't be able to get the recipe to make it. You know what I'm saying? But this is Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 21. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the voice of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters, shall be heard no more at all in thee. And no craftsman of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. Now this is talking about after, you know, while Babylon is being thrown down in war with great violence very suddenly, because that's what nuclear, you know, weapons do, right? All the grinding and the you know, levity and the partying and the surfeiting, all that's about to vanish. But here's the part that ties into what we're talking about. Because again, the nations weren't deceived for nothing. We weren't convinced to kill one another organically. We were tricked, right? Verse 23, and the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. See this whole idea that we're solely responsible for the violence that takes place in our communities? Although our people are paying a hefty price for hating one another and killing one another, you have to understand the Most High God understands who put that bottle to our lips and made us drink. As a matter of fact, that's in Habakkuk 2, talking about woe be unto basically a man who puts a bottle to his neighbor and forces him to be drunk, makes him drink. You're the, well, what is that delinquency of a child? They have a charge for that in the American system. If you have a child under your guardianship and you're convincing them to do lewd, lascivious, and just deconstructive and harmful acts, they can charge you with that. That's a form of child abuse. Well, if the Most High God turned us over into their hands and the first thing they want to do is rape and buck break us, teach us how to be homosexuals, giving a boy for a harlot, then guess what? They're responsible for that degradation of us as a people. That's why they got to pay for it. That's why whenever the white man tries to slither out of his judgment, remind him, we weren't like that before you came along. We weren't like that before we were in your hands. We were not like this. And that is something that many black people don't feel comfortable doing. I know our Northern Kingdom and Native Indian brothers, they follow in our footsteps as much as they don't want to admit it. But Judah especially, have a good night, brother. But Judah especially, they don't like bringing out the fact that we're in this low estate because our enemies trained us to be that way. Because we believe it gives the imagery that we're weak. But the reality is we are weak because the Most High God broke us. He broke our pride by sending the sharpest sword he had in his arsenal, and that is the so-called white man. That's why in the kingdom of heaven, the white man is going to be eradicated and eliminated, because there will be no more need for such a sharp sword in a righteous kingdom. What's up, man?
I got a disagreement.
What's up?
You said sharpest sword.
Okay.
I'll say kind of right.
For violence.
I'm gonna say continuous sword. Let me explain why.
Explain.
What did Christopher Columbus say?
He didn't put his sword down, right?
They didn't put his sword down, no, not once, right?
Okay.
And the crazy thing about Esau is they are the sharpest. Yeah, they're the sharpest. But what makes them as worse as he is that they're so continuous. Like when you look at all of our other captivities, they had some type of mercy after some point in the eye.
Yeah.
Or they're like, shit, all hell's breaking loose, we gotta defend ourselves, fuck them. And they let us go.
Keep going, brother. Keep going.
But Esau, they're like, hell, I mean, we just spoke about them grapes, right? When Robert came in, he gonna leave some grapes. Not these people. They're like, shit, the whole world is turning against us. They want to kill us. Fuck no, we gotta keep these people. And I think that's part of the snare that the Most High has put these people in, right? Because they think that, you know, I mean, they know that every nation that has come to power has the Israelites in subjection. And 3 of the last kingdoms that have been in power are of the same people, right? 4 of the last powers. Oh, wait, hold on, wait. Greece, Rome, Italy, no, Greece, Rome, Britain, America. Was that 4?
Are you talking about the 4
Something like
powers?
that. No. The last 4 powers of the earth.
Last 4 powers?
Yeah, about 4. Let's just say 4, right? The last 4 powers been, been through the same people, right? We got the breakdown and revelation of the heads and all that, Daniel. But the whole point is that they know that their kingdom is falling, and what they're going to do is, and I believe that's that pride of them, they're going to hold on to us and not let us go, as the Bible says, and as we can see through our own actual reality. But I wanted to bring out something because you said, I forgot what you said specifically, but it made me think of this right here, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 12, verse 13. It says, "Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast?" Oh yeah, that's what I want to make. Yeah, you were saying like, they're buck breaking us, child delinquency. They're, now I'm gonna speak on our people first, right? We have a part to play in peer pressure. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had to throw that. First of all, nobody had to put a bottle to my mouth when I was under 5 years old. Nobody had to put a gun in my lap and tell me, you know what I'm saying, you got to do X, Y, and Z. Nobody had to tell me. Nobody had to do these things. Because those are actual factual things, right? Nobody had to, tell me to go do X, Y, and Z to show that I'm this type of person worthy of X, Y, and Z, right? But these are the things that our people do. We can't be, misery loves company. We can't be okay with doing the wicked shit by ourselves. We got to include other people. Now, you can't hang around us, little homie, unless you a murderer. Go catch a body. These are things that our people say to each other, right? You gonna hang around me, you better start selling some drugs. From the men, the women, the kids, teenagers, young adults. It's fucked up because how you a parent and you telling your child to sell drugs as a child. And I've often heard this analogy saying, you know, after a certain age, like, you can't tell the feds, like, oh, I grew up selling drugs my whole life, I don't know anything else. That's a valid excuse for some of our people to be honest, because that is all they know. But at the same time, they got to take some level of accountability as well. But, you know, nobody, you know, the other part is, you know, they have a large part to play in these conditions that we live in now, right? So when you sit there and you go and put yourself next to that rattlesnake, you can't be upset that it bit you. And nor can anyone else. You can't be upset when that bear or that shark takes your leg off or half your body. You can't be mad when that crocodile or that alligator has drug you 12 feet in the water, murky water, with 3 other friends to devour you. You know what I'm saying? These are the conditions that we're living in. And our people are content with living like this. We got to rise up. And the way to do that is to follow these laws, statutes, commandments. There's so much wisdom in this Bible that you wouldn't even believe. A lot of these things that we even say ourselves, this Bible is within us, but we don't know it. It comes to naught. It's not real wisdom because we can't go back to it and understand our mindset. There's times I look at posts on Facebook where back in the day, I don't remember making it per se, but I know I was like, yeah, I'm dope. I'm speaking some shit here. I look back at that shit, I'm like, what the fuck was I talking about? It ain't real wisdom, right? Even if it was true at one point in time. But, you know, never set yourself by your enemy. No one pitying a charmer being bit by a snake. Never trusting your enemy. These are principles that we have been saying, right? You know, don't touch the stove. You know what I'm saying? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. We know these things. These are things that we often say in our neighborhoods, our communities. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go ahead and get this precept to this person.
Calm, right? So I want to go ahead and bring this out because one of the things that we're talking about is how these heathen, despite stealing our heritage, he remind me of Amalek, man. That dude who walked up. Yeah. Yeah, he got that condor nose, though. But, like, he leading the way, boy. Shit. But either way, this is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Now, normally we read the pericope on down just to show that, you know, the day of salvation is going to be strange unto the heathen. But I just want to bring that one verse out to show, right, that essentially they've made no account of our labors ever since slavery, right? These people are not trying to acknowledge our role in building their empire.
I'm gonna go back to slavery. Have you seen Ancient Aliens?
No.
Okay. It's a show, right? It's been out for a while. But and I'm not saying that we're responsible for everything in the world that has been built, but a lot of those ancient structures were potentially or most likely we've had a hand in, and they just give all the credit to aliens.
Look, man.
And it's mostly Islam.
But what he's saying,
Some of our people, but mostly Islam.
what he's saying is not a lie, right? The white man would rather believe that aliens built the pyramids than black people. He would rather believe that aliens came all the way across the damn universe, came to Earth, and built pyramids all over the planet, and then just left, rather than give credit to the people that he knows built it. See, that's why they teach you that your history began with slavery. Especially you so-called blacks and Hispanics. They teach you your history didn't start until the conquistador came over here. They teach you your history didn't start until the white man came to the jungles of West Africa and got you from those swinging vines and put you behind a plow working their fields. If y'all are Native Hispanic, y'all are special, y'all are Israelites. Y'all God's chosen. God's chosen people are blacks,
right.
Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right? You got to understand, this devil would rather attribute the foundation of all that is good on this planet to beings that don't even reside on the earth itself. rather than give credit to the people that can not only explain how those things were built, but recreate them today. They would rather live in squalor than give us our credit.
What's up, man? So at that point, they would rather credit a random ass bomb explosion in the universe than credit the Most High God.
Man, Con. They would rather say that basically at the very beginning there was a pinprick of light, and due to the fracturing of symmetry, then you had a massive explosion, and then it settled out. It's like, yo, that's retarded. So where did the super force come from that precipitated the Big Bang? See, one of the things that these Edomites don't get away with when they come talk to me is talking about string theory, M theory, and Big Bang. Because I used to be a student of that shit. It's nonsense. Con, because what eventually happens is all you got to do is say what happened before that, and before that, and before that. And eventually they go, well, I don't know. And it's like, exactly, that's where God is, idiot.
And that's where you learn that what they believe in is actually religion. They try to tell you, they try to pass it on as no science is fact. It's just reality is what it is. Then you get them to a corner where they just gotta admit that, hey, well, they're not going to admit it, but you get them to a point of admit to say, I just believe it. That's what it is.
Yeah. See, the thing is, they decry us and they mock us for having faith in the Most High God. But when you really analyze what they say they believe according to science, it's no different than the faith we have in our God. One of the things that they look at is the behavior of photons, right? They did something called the double slit experiment, and it verified the behavior of photons when there's no observer.
Right.
When there's no observer, photons function like a wave, meaning it has no defined position or defined value.
It's like dark light.
Man, it's so that's a whole new like argument, because I'm telling you, man, like when it comes to scrutinizing Esau's science, it's all over the place. That's why one of the things I'm surprised at is nobody even talks about how they had to update the classical solar system model, where it went from being a two-dimensional plane where all the planets rotated around the sun to being this model where the sun is traveling through space and all the planets are rotating around the sun and each other.
I mean,
It doesn't even make sense.
They even had to redo the atmosphere because we talk about like the second law of thermodynamics. And I'm gonna speak plainly, but just type in second law of thermodynamics. It talks about basically a self-contained gas system next to a never-ending vacuum, like Earth next to space, right? They say that if you go out in the Earth, into space, all your oxygen is gonna be sucked out of your blood, sucked out of your lungs. Can't breathe, no gravity, blah 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 blah. Well, if Earth doesn't have a container, right? If there's no firmament, as in Genesis 1, verse 2, I believe. If there's no firmament, then how can you have pressurized gas systems like air, nitrogen, what other gases that we have in our atmosphere? You can't have that just floating around freely and neatly, no matter how many trees you have, which just get sucked off the face of the earth, right? So what they ended up doing was they went back and said, okay, well, the atmosphere isn't where it actually is. It actually extends past the moon. So the moon is actually within Earth's atmosphere. You should be able to breathe, all this other weird shit, but like you said, it don't make sense.
It's a never-ending goalpost of bullshit. That is what the white man believes. A never-ending moving goalpost. That's why when you question him, he will always refer you to someone else. The buck never stops with him, but with us, the buck stops with the Most High God. That's why when you read in Genesis 1, the angelic beings who created the earth, they divided the waters, the Shemayim. And the waters are not just waters in the ocean and the rivers. You're talking about the waters in heaven. They already acknowledge that they have an atmospheric river in the atmosphere of the sky. And if you study weather patterns, you can obviously see it. There's a belt of moisture and storms that circle the equator of the planet, and it feeds into all the subsystems of storms around the earth. The Most High God and his agents have designed this planet in such a way that if you don't believe in the wisdom of the Bible and understand it, you will grasp at straws trying to define what is happening around you.
You know what's crazy?
What's crazy, the brother said you're going to be grasping at straws. That is literally what Esau's doing, man. Because he's a godless man.
Right.
I mean, really, when you think about like all the other nations, they have something to lean on to. Even if it just comes, spirituality is like the defunct of all religions, right? Like some of them got You know, you got Buddha, Krishna, Allah. They don't got none of that. Fuck it, we just spiritual. We're gonna just find some deities of the day and do some weird rituals and say it's spiritual, right? But that's Esau though. Esau is none of those things. They are just as spread out, worshiping all these different religions and cultures just as much as we are. And that's probably why our spirit bearers with them, because we're godless people. We turn our back on the Most High, He's not with us. But these people are godless people, never end, from beginning to the end.
Which I'm gonna bring that up.
You know what I'm saying? So that's proverbially what they're doing. They're grasping at straws. So when you talk about their science, their explanations of anything, because I often say that, you know, the Big Bang Theory, as the brother put it so eloquently, you know, for those who don't understand, what the brother is saying is basically, and I like to put this to smart people, right? Break it down in layman's terms. What the brother's basically saying is that there had to be something that preceded. It happened before there was a Big Bang. That understanding is, if you just take a grenade, throw it into a junkyard, and you come out with a Tesla truck or a Corvette 2024, right? What is that? Murcielago, Huracan, or whatever. One of them. Supercar. There's no way for something like that to happen, because what we're talking about is intelligent design versus chaos. Chaos, and again, that goes into his actual spiritualism. Because out of order comes chaos. Excuse me, out of chaos comes order. Isn't that what they have on the dollar bill?
We're out of chaos.
Right. So you got to understand, these are the people that are running this world, right? The wicked, the world is given to the hand of the wicked.
The earth has been given in the hands of the wicked, right?
9 and 24, when we get it.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah, go ahead. But you know, these people, they're godless people, so you know, they're gonna make up whatever, and the whole thing is you start getting into what they actually believe, because you talk about chaos versus intelligent design. Like, let's be for real here. You people say that we're floating the ball of space. Well, how come people thousands of years, 6,000 years ago, have made star systems and all types of things like that we can still see today? Charts, calendars, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are still can be seen today. They said that, you know, stars are balls of gas that are they're already dead, all this other weird stuff. Why are they still the same constellations as there is today?
Can I speak on that real quick?
Go ahead.
The reason why a lot of people believe Esau's explanation of what stars are is because they've never looked through a telescope themselves.
White is right.
Yeah, if you look through a telescope yourself, and I'm talking about a high-powered telescope, you will see that the stars do not look like balls of gas. They do not resemble what they tell you stars are. More times than not, they look like discs. That's why you're not allowed to go up to observatories. You have to have special access to go to observatories. And when you can go, most of the time you don't have access to look at the things you want to look at. They have it preset to look at a pre-configured or configuration of the sky, right? So you're seeing a certain star or a certain star system. You get very little access to look at the bodies in heaven. And there's a reason for that. Because the knowledge of the earth itself will prove that the God of the Bible is real.
You know what's crazy?
And it will also prove that the white man is going into slavery. And it's well deserved. Because he has lied and murdered all over the earth.
Amen, amen.
So when the white man goes, amen, I want you to say amen or may it be so that your pasty ass goes into slavery.
The whole part about it is, man, you control knowledge, you control knowledge, knowledge is
Yeah. Look,
you know what I'm saying? And they control all the accesses to knowledge, and then they spin the narrative.
Yeah.
And they feed it to us who's half to believe what they say, and it's crazy, bro. It's crazy because the Most High is so perfect.
y'all got time for the Bible tonight? 2 minutes? Yeah, can you take a flyer, brother? Before y'all go, I do want to ask you one question. What you gonna do when they institute the draft? You know that draft coming, right? Yeah, look it up when you get home. Hey, they drafting women too. You gonna be right beside him. Hold an M16. Talking about cover my back, baby.
Don't let them get us.
Hey, y'all be safe tonight.
Be safe, y'all. See, we try to tell our people, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, man, this white man, he about to put your ass on the front lines. See, and one of the reasons why he gonna be able to do that is written right here in Job. This is Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? I asked this question, and I'm gonna ask it the exact way that I did when I first started preaching. If the white man is not in charge of the earth, explain to me who the hell is. When you want to become educated, you go to their schools. When you want to be rich, you got to do business with them. If the earth is not in Esau, Edom's hands, the so-called white man, please explain to me who else is in charge. But see, the unfortunate reality is blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can't be bothered to learn who their God is, to learn who their people are. But see, when that draft letter comes in the mail, you're going to be real interested in your God in that day. And the Most High God going to be laughing at your ass like you just fell down on the Three Stooges.
They're not gonna send a draft letter. You know what they're gonna do? I'm knocking on the door with that syringe with that chip in it, right? They're gonna show up like that and they're gonna say, hey, how many people we got in their household?
I'm going to be real. The way they going to do the chip is they going to do y'all asses dirty. You going to go to H-E-B and Walmart. All this shit going to be locked up behind bulletproof, steel reinforced glass and doors, and you going to need a chip to get in, and they're going to go, hey, unless you take this mark of the beast, your ass going to starve to death.
Your ass not even getting into those places.
But the thing is, if
you
you...
need a chip to even get in the door.
But brother, have you been to CVS lately?
Yeah.
They got them in there.
They don't have the ones by me. They don't have it like how yours is. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, 'cause you saw that video I sent, right, in the chat?
But you
Hey.
know, I think the way they're not gonna show up with no letter. They're not gonna send no letter.
I'm talking about for war, brother.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. I don't think they're gonna send a letter. I think they're gonna show up at your front door, chip in one hand and the American flag in the other hand, saying, you know, put the shit on and let's go.
I guess we'll see, man.
That's what I think they're gonna do. I mean, don't get me wrong, like formalities, they might want to send something out, but you know, they don't have to hunt us.
Well, look, that ain't gonna be the end all be all, right? Because they've been moving all these damn tanks and Humvees. Did you ever get a chance to go by exit 158? Man, go by there, brother.
Listen, bro, by my house is still every day, no matter what time I go outside. Like if I go home now, I'll probably still see something. Jets, cargo planes, all type of shit. Big ass, like every day.
See, the American
I'm looking
people.
at that shit. The last couple of days I've been at work, getting home, I'm phoning my mom, trying to, you know what I'm saying, have a conversation, maybe a meeting or something like that. Same shit every day. Every day.
We gonna get that in Habakkuk again, man.
Every day.
We gotta get that, because,
Every
man,
day.
folks don't realize, man, the white man is about to come pick your ass up.
The whole part about it is, you know, I appreciate that the brother took the flyer, but you know, he was high as hell.
Yeah.
He was high as hell. And matter of fact, I'm gonna get a scripture on that, but brother was out here high as hell. We don't know what the fuck's going on, and we just trying to live life. You know what I'm saying? And I understand on some level, like we just want a damn break, but this is not our rest. You know what I'm saying? We got jobs to do to get up out of here. And if it be just somebody like him, joining up, listening for a little bit, and start doing the commandments, you never know. Most I might wrap this thing up. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm gonna bring this out real quick. I brought it out earlier. Right, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, y'all gotta understand something, man. We're coming into the times where this Bible needs to become plain to you. You need to understand what you are reading and understand who your God is, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 1 and verse 2. And the Most High God answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. So the Most High God instructed the prophets, when you write down these words, these oracles, make sure our people can understand them. Make sure our people can understand who their God is and what they're supposed to be doing. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. And most of you niggas are resting on your laurels thinking that you got another 30 years. thinking that America's going to bounce back, not understanding. Vladimir Putin said he got a preemptive strike policy. So if he feel like America going to press the button, we going to get lit up. Well, hold on. Yeah. Let me get this real quick. Because them Sarmat 2 missiles, when he pushed the button on them motherfuckers, they going to come over here in less than 30 minutes. Folks don't understand how frightening that is. A weapon that can wipe out the area the size of Texas. All he's got to do is push a button, and it's in the air, and it don't matter if you blow their whole country up. You can't disarm it. You can't defend against it. That's what's coming. Verse 4, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desires is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So when we talk about Esau, Edom being in charge and being the wicked of the earth, and describing what the wicked would be doing according to the Bible, and then the white man turns around and says, I'm not the Edomites. You've got to explain to me another group of people where everywhere they set their foot, misery, slavery, and death follow. If there's another group of people who have a higher body count than the so-called white man, I'm all ears. But the reality is, the white man is as the grave itself. That's why when you count the bodies and casualties of the white man, you count in the hundreds of millions. You don't count by 10s and 20s. Meanwhile, these same wicked-ass people will turn around and talk to you as if they got a moral high ground to stand on. Huh. That's why knowing your history and knowing the scriptures will give you the ultimate weapon against these white devils, and that is the truth.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, verse 15 and 16. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. You know, after everything the brother brought out, this is very fitting. And as I mentioned, the brother was walking around high as hell, man.
Unprepared.
And the thing about it is, the Most High says, you know, we could drink, but don't be getting loaded. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like to get loaded. And the thing about it is, you know, the reason why you gotta understand that, the wisdom behind all of that. I mean, the Most High tells us to do stuff we don't understand, but it's for, first of all, it's for our benefit just because we listen to the Most High. But there's usually some other benefit behind that on a carnal level, right? But I'm saying, at the very least, right? The way that we've been getting done as a people for so long, and even as of lately, how crazy it's been, for you to be high walking around in La La Land for your girl to defend you, it's crazy as hell, bro. That's wild as hell. If you gonna get high, come on, bro. Like the smart thing to do would be like go somewhere where you don't have to be nowhere, all around, out in the open, exposed, vulnerable as hell, and maybe have some brothers protect you or something. Not have your wife, your rib, out here in a position to have to protect you. Somebody run up and try to steal her, cart her off to some fucking what do you call it? Sex trafficking. Your ass ain't gonna be able to do shit because you high. Motherfucker gotta do is wave in front of you real quick and you gonna get disoriented. You know what I'm saying? We at war out here, man. War, I mean, he's young, so, you know, a lot of the young brothers, they don't really know what's going on. And that's a failure on the part of our elders, man. Brothers our age and older. You know, our elders have failed us in a lot of things. A lot of times I talk to the elders of people that I grew up with. They're failures. They're weak men, weak-minded, weak women. Did they endure a lot? Hell yeah. Did they endure some things that I probably couldn't endure? Hell yeah. I wouldn't want to endure, right? They had a hard head and a soft ass. And the cold part about it is they still failed us. We were still growing up thinking we were just
Y'all got time for the Bible?
colors in the crayon box.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Never to say no to that.
So, what we're out here to do is to let people know what the Bible says in relation to judgment that's coming upon the earth, and letting people know that the judgment basically fits their patrilineage, right? So the first thing I would have to ask you is, who's your father? Is your father Native Hispanic?
Yes.
Mexican?
Yes.
How about you?
White.
White? From where?
French Canadian.
French Canadian? Okay, cool. So in your case, you would likely be from the tribe of Issachar in the Bible, right? So have you heard of the Hebrew Israelites?
No.
You haven't. Good. I'm glad that we're able to, break that barrier, and now you've met some. What we're out here to do is to let blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians know that we are the people of the Bible. If you read Deuteronomy 28, especially after verse 15, it tells us that if the real Israelites don't follow God's laws, they would be placed under curses. One of the curses is that we would go into slavery on a slave ship. Can you get that for me? So one of the things that a lot of people don't understand is the transatlantic slave trade did not just affect black people, right? Do you have anybody in your family who does construction?
Yes.
I know, because you Issachar, man. Issachar in the Hebrew means he is hired. Who are the hardest working people on the planet? Say it loud.
Hispanics.
All right, Hispanics. Mexican people are the hardest workers. That's why I know you got people in your family who do construction, because that's hard ass work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, say if you're moving gravel from one site to another, when you move that gravel to one site, you don't bring that truck back empty. Why is that? The gas.
Yeah.
So you 2868. Yeah. So you're not trying to expend fuel for no benefit. The slave trade was no different. The slave trade was so bad that there was an expected 40% margin of loss. So if you brought 100 slaves on a ship, 40 of them weren't going to make it. Whether they died of disease, got thrown overboard, got murked and ate, because they were eating us too, right? Cannibalism was a big thing during that, right? But the thing is, when they dropped us off here, over here in America, or in Mexico, because there are Afro-Mexicans, there are Afro-Canadians, all that, they were picking y'all up and sending y'all to Spain, Portugal, and Africa, and parts of the UK. That's why you got people all over the world with Spanish last names.
Yeah.
That's how we know who the Israelites are. But he's going to bring out this curse, right?
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies, for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. And I got a precept for that.
You're talking about Exodus 20. Yeah.
That's fine. So when it says that we would be sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man would buy us, when the Spanish conquistador came to Mexico, who came down there and said, hey, that ain't right, leave them people alone? Who did that? Nobody. How about black people here in America? Who came and got us and took us home? Nobody. That's how the Bible addresses the curses. The Most High God promised he would put us in the hands of our enemies and no man would be able to deliver us. But go.
Yeah, go ahead.
It said you were going to eat it says the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, right? Geographically speaking, you look at the map of Israel and Egypt, they're right next to each other. You don't need ships, right? But this is the understanding we get. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
So a house of bondage, say I come to your house, I hit you over the head with a club, you wake up and you're in chains, and I brought you to my house and I make you work for me. What's that called? Slavery. So this is saying we will be put in slavery again via ships. That's why the transatlantic slave trade is such a monumental occurrence on the planet, because we are the only people group on the planet, the Israelites, who have ever gone into a mass captivity via slave ship. Now here's the thing. I have a question. When you go to church, no one has ever asked you what tribe you come from in the Bible. You know why that is? We're going to read it. Can you get Matthew 15?
Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to get Revelation?
No, Matthew 15. Because our Messiah came for a very specific purpose, right? And while he gets that, I want to read something else. And it's going to be in, I'm going to put the mic down. We just talked, right? So when it came to the Messiah coming, everybody says Jesus came for the world, right? That word for world in John 3:16 is the word cosmos. The word cosmos means a group of like things or a harmonious government. Cool. Just hold it for 1 second. So if I came for, say, the C word, did I come for the hip hop world too?
are just dolphins, whales, and things associated with the sea. Exactly. So if you read Isaiah 45 and 17, it says, Israel shall be saved in the Lord, and we shall not be ashamed or confounded. World without end. Israel is a world unto itself. A harmonious arrangement or a government. So Christ only came for the world of Israel. Where does everybody else come from? And I'm going to prove that, right? Because when you look at the mission of Christ, he says it, or it says it in Luke 1. This is Luke 1 and 68. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people, and hath raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. And he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies, and from the hand of all that hate us. Now, not yet, but if you want to grab that and hold it, hold on 1 second. I want to show you something. If we need to be saved from our enemies, what type of things would our enemies be doing? Stealing? Yeah. Raping? Yeah. Now, all those things happen in slavery. To the men and the women. You know, have you ever heard of something called buck breaking? So on a plantation, they would take the biggest, meanest looking slave and chain him to the floor. And the plantation owners from the area would come around and run a train in front of his wife and kids and all the other slaves to demonstrate, hey, this will happen to you. Look at him. He's the strongest amongst you. What chance do you have?
Yeah, it's like biggest kid on the yard, the bully, take out the bully. You know?
Yeah. Now,
Situation like that.
I want you to look at this picture. You can look at it too. This man is hanging from a tree, being barbecued alive. This is a book called Without Sanctuary. It's lynching photography of the Jim Crow era from the South. Now, one thing they tell you is that lynchings only took place in the South. That's not true. It took place all over the United States because they were lynching the Native Americans and our Native Hispanic brothers as well. That's why this photo should elicit anger, right? Because these things still happen. In Austin a few weeks ago, there was a woman found hanged. Did they ever find the culprit? No. Are they looking for them? Probably not. Because more times than not, when we get killed, do they really do like a thorough investigation? No. But if you look in the Bible, it tells you that they're not guilty, right? Because they basically murder us and they find themselves not guilty. That's in Zechariah, I believe it's 11:5. But I just want to bring these two things out from this brother here. How much time do y'all have? Cool. So he'll knock this out and then we'll see y'all in here.
All right, the brother was speaking about worlds. We're talking about worlds, right? This is the book of Hebrews, which is the New Testament. The book of Hebrews, God, 1 and 1, to verse 2. This is God at sundry times and diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets, hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he hath appointed heir of all things, by whom he made the world. So, like the brother was saying, you gotta understand when the Bible's talking about worlds, there's multiple worlds that is being spoken of. You know what I mean? So we go into the Greek over here to get a better understanding of what's being conveyed in this message. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24. This is Jesus' words. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So when it comes down to him saying that he's not sent but into the lost sheep of the house of Israel, what did he come to do? We read it. He came to save his people from the hand of all that hate them and their enemies. So when he's telling a Canaanite woman who's from the nation of Ham, she's not an Israelite, that he only came for the Israelites, is she included in that as well? No, but she's not. Now, I have a question. If she's not included, how about all the other heathen nations? No. Now, do you know they also had us in slavery as well? You have the transatlantic slave trade, which was done mainly by the so-called white man. Then you have the sub-Saharan slave trade, right? Where they were stealing our people essentially from the southeastern regions of Africa and basically the eastern region, right? Have you ever heard of a people called the Zanj, Z-A-N-J? Anyway, it's another word for black or Negro, right? They were stealing us and they were taking us to places like India, Iraq, Iran, all throughout the Middle East, right? That's why you have a group of people in, what they call in India called the Sidis, S-I-D-D-I-S. They're just basically people who look like me who live in India. And guess where they're at? They're in the ghetto too, in the slum. Because the Bible said if we don't keep God's laws, we would be put under the curses. The Asian man put us in slavery as well. Ever hear about the Silk Road slave trade? They were kidnapping us. Negritos is what they call them. And that means little black boy. Right? They were kidnapping Negroes and they were sending them all throughout Asia. Right? So in short, Rich is trying to tell you, brother, in order for these curses to stop, we have to keep God's laws. I'm going to read this one last thing to you, and that'll be it. We'll send y'all on your way. And y'all have a great night. Be safe out here, man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Sure thing, sure thing. Have you ever heard of Hebrew Israelite?
I have.
You have? Cool, man. Make sure, and y'all look it up. It's on flyer as well. Oh, no. Cool. It's convenient. But let me read this. That'll be good, man. Because one of the things, if you believe in God, you should always be asking, what is my purpose? You do. Actually, that's cool. Actually, if you don't mind if I read this in one more other thing, cool. 1 John, how you love God, 1 John 5 and 2 and 3. Yeah, I want you to walk away knowing how to love your God, right? Because God's name is not God. That's a title. You know, do you have a son or children? You know, what if they called you Mr. instead of Dad? That'd be awkward. And after a while, you'd be like, yo, what's wrong with you? You know I'm your dad. Quit calling me that. What do you think God feels when his children call him God? God is Mr. That's modern Hebrew. See, he's close. His name is Yahweh. Yahweh. That's the paleo Hebrew. And his son's name isn't Jesus. The letter J is only 500 years old. So what's his name? Yahweh. It's on the fly. So think about it. Every tight spot in your life you've been in, I know you call on God, because that's what our people do. We have a zeal for God, not according to the book, not according to knowledge. And you called him Mr. your whole life. And you called Jesus, instead of his real name, Yahweh. And guess what God still did? He still is there for you. Right? So now that you know his real name, make sure you use it. But do this. This is Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. And then, that's your whole duty. But guess what? You just learned how to love God. Why is that? Because, ironically enough, in 1 John 5, you got it?
By this is the book of 1 John, chapter 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. This is the book of verse 3. It says, for we love God, for this is the love of God that we love. This is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. So real quick, you have to love God's children. You have to love God by keeping his commandments. And a lot of people walk around and say, I'm born again. But if they're not keeping the commandments, they're not born again. They're not born of God. You know what I'm saying? So just real quick, like the verse said, we talk about the commandments. First 5 books of the Bible. You hear Jewish people call it the Torah, right? But just first 5 books of the Bible, if you go through that, there's a lot of different instructions on how to love God, and throughout the Bible, of course, but a lot of the heavier points are there, right? Jeremiah 10, right? It talks about, you look at Jeremiah 10, it goes into a description about how people look at it and say it's probably Christmas, right? It talks about taking the axeman, going to the forest, cutting a tree, fixing it with nails so it stands upright like a palm tree. People putting silver and gold on it. It sounds like Christmas, right? Well, God, get into that. God says, don't worship him as the heathens do, as the other people do, right? The scriptures talk about not praying on the corners as hypocrites or other people do, right? So, first 5 books of the Bible mainly, it has a lot of different description on how to love God and his chosen people. You love his chosen people, you're loving God, right? So that means you can't come and deal falsely with another brother or sister. You can't just murder them in innocence, different things like that. Don't steal from them. this is how you love God, right? So just leave it on that.
Sure thing.
Hey, have a good one.
Andrew, my name is Haya L.
Have a good one.
Thank you so much. I'm
thing.
going to look for this. Thank you. Have a
All
good night.
praise to the Most High God. Be safe, brother.
And that's why we're out here, right? That's why we are out here, to let our people know who they are, where they come from, and what they're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I'm really glad that brother said was that he looks for his purpose as well. Every person who is aware that basically they're alive, right? When you're in your silent moments, you think, man, why am I doing this? Why am I here? If you're going through tribulation, man, why is this shit happening to me? What's going on? But the thing about being an Israelite is that you can get that answer today. Your duty is to keep the commandments of the Most High God. That's it. It is simple. There's 613 laws. You can't keep them all right now. As a matter of fact, we done pissed the Most High God off so much and been so stiff-necked and hard-hearted that the Most High God has prevented us from being able to keep most of the commandments. We can't go to the temple and do sacrifices. The Levitical priesthood doesn't have any duties right now in service to the temple because there is no temple, right? Most of us don't own land. So, you know, doing the land Sabbath and you know, all those things, like, man, for the most part, we can't do that. So the Most High God has given us the coloring book when it comes to keeping the commandments. Not eating food sacrificed unto idols. Not hating your brother. Not having any gods before him. And guess what Jake is still doing? Jake is still out here struggle busting. Can't get the shit right, man. Still thinking that they got options out here. Are options, even though the white man's foot is knee deep in their ass. And the Most High God promised that it's going to be this way until you turn back and repent and keep the commandments. But I'm glad that brother Andrew got edified. He's going to look at that flyer and he's going to start his walk. See, all we're doing is we're just strawing the seeds, man. But it is the Most High God who yields the increase. And who knows, that brother might walk by some IUIC brothers, get edified. Walk by some ISUBK brothers, get edified. Walk by another Sakari camp, get edified. And before you know it, I might see that brother walk back without that damn heathen on his arm. You know what I'm saying? And it's in the spirit that white boy didn't want a flyer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because he's heard of us before. He said he did. See, the thing is, man, these damn hasty devils, man, they're looking at their kingdom be torn down with the truth. That's why the Bible talks about them being destroyed without hands. See, we ain't got to put hands on them, man. And we ain't got to march and protest and hold up signs and look like damn idiots while they throw rocks at us and hit us with hoses and attack dogs and police killing us. All you got to do is go out and preach the word of the Bible. Preach the truth. Let your people know who they are. Let them know who their God is and tell them to come home. Because I'm going to be real. We've tried everything else. Why not try God? Why not? And there's perks to this too. Yeah, when you turn back to keep the laws of God, your ass going to get tried. But if you show yourself approved, don't worry. You best believe the Most High God is going to reward you handsomely. That's why the Bible talks about praying to the Most High God in secret, so he can reward you openly. You're supposed to be serving God as best you can, so that when it comes time to receive a reward, he's justified in giving it to you. Because more times than not, our people are begging God for rewards that we haven't earned. And that is the truth. Many of us want a lot of money. First thing we're going to do is run off to the strip club and give it to some hoes. Some of us want to have a nice body, be athletic, so we can just be a whoremonger. You know what I'm saying? The list goes on. Jake is serving their own flesh with the very same blessings that they hope to get from the Most High. That's why the Most High God keep you where your ass can do the least amount of damage possible in the damn ghetto, around other niggas. You got something, brother?
I mean, I got more, but
Come. Right? So we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. You got any scriptures you want to bring out? Okay, come. So I'm going to bring out, let me see. Give me 1 second. So I'm going to bring this one thing out because with the pending calamities coming to America, I want it to be known what the Most High God is essentially telling us to stop doing, right? For one, we have to stop provoking God to his face. Doing the things that he told us not to do deliberately. Many of us know we're not supposed to be eating pork, committing adultery, murdering one another, hating one another. A lot of us know that, but we insist on doing it. But let me explain to you what happens and what the penalty is going to be. Because many of our people are going to starve to death. Most High God going to do your ass like the Edomites used to do you when they used to lay siege to our cities. He going to have it so you can't find a crumb of food and you going to waste away crying out to God while he don't listen to you. This is Isaiah 65:1. I am sought of them that ask not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. I have spread out my hands all the day long, unto a rebellious people, which walketh in a way that was not good, after their own thoughts. A people that provoketh me to anger continually, to my face. See, when you go to the damn strip club and you turn up, best believe the Most High God ain't happy about that. You making whores of your sisters and celebrating a ritual that was kept by those who worshiped Ashtoreth. See, just because you're ignorant of the law doesn't mean you're not subjected to it. So many of us provoke the Most High God to his face every day. And some of us even dare the Most High God to do something about it. But the reality is, he about to do something about it. And burneth incense upon altars of brick. So many of our people are burning incense to other gods, whether you're into Shinto, Buddhism, all of these pagan holidays, which really circle back to worshiping Israelites, by the way. Because most people don't even know. Gods like Zeus, one of his names is Ethiops, meaning burnt face. See, the Roman gods in the Roman pantheon were black people. Once upon a time, the white man worshipped us as gods. And it was over time that he turned them white. Same thing with Buddha. Same thing with all of the monks that they pray to and worship over in Asia. That's why when you look at the statues of them, they got curly negroid hair, big noses, and big lips. But see, the reality is, that's how the Most High God took us in our own devices. See, we were trying to engage in self-worship, and the Most High God circled around and put us on the bottom, and then he had them change the likeness of those false gods, so now they resemble the respective nation that worshiped them. And now we look like boo-boo the food, and rightfully so. But this is Isaiah 65:13. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. See, you niggas who don't want to come back and worship your God and keep the commandments, get used to being hungry, nigga. Get used to it. Because when the white man, his cupboards run bare and these stores are no longer carrying food, you're going to be crying out to God. And God go look at you and wait for you to waste away so he can see you in the spirit realm, because your ass going to starve to death. Verse 14. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. And ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen. For the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name. And what that means is eventually we going to be talking about you to other Israelites going, hey, you see what happened to the brother, to the sister who didn't serve God? Yeah, they ass perished. And the Most High God killed them. So if you don't want that to happen to you, I suggest you get on your damn square. That's what's going to be happening out here. And there are going to be people coming in at the very last minute. All praises to the Most High God. But don't leave it up to that. Repent today, turn back to your God, and keep the commandments. And that's it, brother. Yeah, but.
Now me, I'm a little, I always have mixed emotions, man. You know, that brother looked like, he had a look after I said, hey man, we out here for you. He had a look on his face right now like, shit, that sounded sincere as hell. Because I watched them as they walked up. They heard the things that the brother was speaking. And they kind of put him off. Right? The sister especially. She was popping her neck. It was Isaiah 3 all over again, right? Tinkling at her heels. She definitely was offended. Didn't want nothing to say what we had to do. And, you know, as Sakari liked to say, that brother had to listen to the boss, right? You know, he wasn't a man of his household. But You know, that right there just hurts my heart every time, over and over and over and over and over again, man. Because I feel sorry for our people, because they'll look down on you, they'll look at you crazy, they'll look at you like they're stupid. And we make ourselves a fool for Christ, right?
All the day long.
And these are the things that we got to put up with, deal with, and see. Where it's only doing things to our spirits. I know what it's doing to mine. I can only imagine what it's doing to other brothers who've been in this thing well longer than us, right? But I wanted to bring out Romans 13 real quick. Well, get a few verses and jump down, right? This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1. This dumbass. Wow. It says, let every soul be subject unto higher powers, for there is no power but of God. The powers that be ordained of God. Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. And they that resisteth shall receive to themselves damnation. For rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou not be afraid of the power? Do thou which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same, right? That was Romans 1 and 13 and 1 down to 3, right? I'm gonna skip down all the way to I'm gonna scroll down to 8, right? It says, owe no man anything but to love one another. For he that loveth another hath fulfilled the law. And all the day long, this is what we're talking about here, right? That sister, which is probably from my tribe, especially, and that brother, they walk by and we trying to show them love, right? And that's not showing me love, right? Didn't have a whole lot to say to you, just wanted to hand you a flyer. You could have checked it out and threw it away when I wasn't looking. But the most I would see it, right? But, you know, she didn't have no love for me, right? I'm over here in this African shirt with a black pride fist picking my hair, afroed out. She couldn't show me no love, man.
Back to Wakanda.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like over here looking like Wakanda forever. You know what I'm saying? She couldn't show me no love. She didn't fulfill the law in that moment, right? But this is Romans 13 and 9, right? It says, for this thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And I'm going to just say real quick on a side note, this is one of my favorite verses, because people will sit there and say, oh, God only gave 2 commandments, love God and love your neighbor. But then when you read Romans 13 and 9, it quickly tells you, start listing off Mosaic commandments and telling you that, hey, this is a brief comprehension right here. This isn't the all-encompassing thing that what you need to do. It's giving you levels to this thing, right? Which is cold business. People don't have responses for that, right? And then it says, verse 10, it says, love worketh no ill towards his neighbor. Therefore, love is fulfilling of the law. So how do you fulfill the law? Real quick, just briefly saying, matter of fact, I'm going to just comprehend it briefly. Love your brother as thyself. And the main part I want to give is right here. It says, and that, knowing the time that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we ever believed. The night is far spent, and the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. And this is the thing that we've been kind of just bring out to our people. Me, it's all day, every day down there. Whether it be the heathens, our people, it doesn't matter, man. And I'm gonna be honest, like me saying I bring it out the heathens, don't get it misunderstood. Because even like some of the heathens that came up here tonight, you gotta understand, the more people that are keeping these commandments, the easier it'll be for you. Because the Most High said that we dealt with them in a manner that He is not gonna let them just get away from us. This is why the Northern Kingdom brothers came over here, Esau followed. It wasn't only just prophecy, but it was also a judgment because certain things we did with them, right? But the point is that, you know, the more people that keep these commandments, the bigger the community you have to keep these commandments, the easier it'll be for you when you get involved in these communities. You have your hands at work, you're too busy to go off or fall off. You got too many people holding you accountable. It's a lot easier to do the things that you are disciplining yourself to do than to fall off or fall back to the wayside, unless the Most High wanted it that way, right? So, you know, these are things that we have to pay attention to. It is high time. This is the things that we're telling people all day and every day. I'm telling heathens, some of them, hey man, it's a good thing not to sleep with your neighbor's wife. You know what's cold about that? Because, you know, and I'm not saying we ought to be out here just preaching to heathens all day, but it doesn't serve any ill will. Because you know what? One of the curses says that you will get a wife and another man will lie with her, right? That happened in the past, but guess what? Our people are still in sin today. You think it ain't gonna happen today? It doesn't even have to be a heathen. It could be one of our people, right? I might be, you never know. You might get saved in this matter, right? Your sister, our sister, your wife, might go off and be thinking of laying down with that next dude. He might run across us or a heathen. And we told him, hey man, it's a good thing not to sleep with a woman who's dealing with a man. Fuck a boyfriend number 2. Fuck a side nigga. Fuck a sneaky link. You get enough people to cast off things like that, these works of darkness. Hey man, that's a beautiful thing. That'll just kept your household intact. At least for a time, right? At least for a time. So, you know, it's wisdom in the laws and the statutes and commandments of the Most High. Even the heathens can benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Hell, I know we talking about adultery, right? These heathens can definitely benefit from it. Because even, first of all, they got a slight flex on us, right? Because they women ain't really putting out for other men like that. Not like all women. They're not, you know, whoring themselves out. But they are, once they go black, they don't come back. You hear me? Once they go brown, they know it's going down. You hear me? So you saw that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah. It looked like a drone. Nah, it came up from the ground though. It's a drone. But the whole point is, it might be a police drone. But the whole point is, you know, we out here saving households, right? You don't got to worry about somebody knocking down your shorty. So, you know, it's high time that we put off the works of the flesh, the works of darkness, repent. The time is at hand. The war's about to kick off. Famine's about to ensue. Disease, pestilence is about to start knocking off a lot of people. Inflation, oil, the housing market. All of these things are going to break people down to their knees. And they're going to pray to God, not knowing how to pray, who to pray to, how to catch a blessing. The Most High God of the Bible, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, of Israel, is not going to hear your prayers because you're not doing what you need to do. You're not blessing who you need to bless. You're not doing the things that He said for you to do. And eventually, what's going to end up happening is you're going to curse God. When those nukes come in 30 minutes, blow up radius the size of Texas, you're going to curse God. You're going to hate Him. You're going to say, Kal Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Bawaf Lababal.
That's all?
I mean, you want to get it?
Hell yeah. Nah, I won't get it. I want to shout this, man. You turn that off, bro. You know I do. I like to jack. So we gonna go ahead and hang it up. I know this brother, he signed off. I want to sign off. All right. But let's go ahead and sign off. We're gonna say Kal Halal Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Kwam Yashrala!
Kwam Yashrala!
And death to America!
Death to America.
All praise. We gonna work on the energy, but we got it.